Peace, peace. What's going on behind the boards? Episode 13, and I got some producers, and the producers about to jump in the room as we speak. I got my brother, Mr. S3oul City, in the room. And of course, I got my brother, Mr. Soundmindz, my brother Grimes, and I got Apollo Brown in the building. And I got my brother Stu Bangaz in the building, my brother Clyde, and my brother Vinny Idol just jumped in right when we just started recording the show. What's up? What's up, Vinny? Is your audio there? Yo. It's connecting. All right. But we here. We just starting, you know what I mean? We're gonna go. This is, you know what I mean, another show about the producers. Vinny, is your audio in?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's going on, man? How you doing? We just started recording, like right when you jumped in, you know what I mean? So we're just starting right now. But we, like I said, we got S3oul City, Soundmindz, Grimes, Apollo Brown, Stu Bangaz, Clyde, and you, Vinny Idol.
What up?
And we're here talking about what y'all doing today. You know what I mean? What y'all inspired y'all? What producers? You know what I mean? What everything producing? You know what I mean? Production. You know what I'm saying? Like as we go. But let's start right now. I got Apollo Brown right here in the middle and shit. Apollo, man. How long have you actually been making beats, man?
Man, I started making beats when I was 16, man. So that was 1996. So
okay.
I'm 40 now, so it's been a minute, man, and you know, just felt like I needed to contribute instead of just being a listener. So I don't know. Playing around, man. Started with Voyetra, which a lot of people don't know what Voyetra is. It was a program, a sound manipulation program that came with Windows 95. And then I graduated to Cool Edit 2000, man, which I still use to this day. And you know, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but it's what I started on, man, and it's kind of it's not really made for, you know, making beats, man. It was radio software, man. It was made to cut commercials and 7-second delays and, you know, stuff like that. But anything that can manipulate sound, you know, you can pretty much make a beat on. So that's kind of where I started with, man. And, you know, I still use it as my main DAW, if you want to call it that, my main DAW today. So no doubt.
Yeah, that's definitely good. What's up, Mr. Lenn just entered the building. What's going on, Mr. Lenn, man?
Yo.
Good, man. Stu Bangaz, you know, I'm coming to you. Yeah, what got you? I mean, how long you been making beats for? I mean, you be clearing them pads down, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got tables in '98. I did construction. That's someone that got some saved up, got some techniques, and then so I got nice with the juggling and the cutting for a couple of years. And then I was like, I gotta start making beats. So I got one in 2000, an MPC 2000 XL, and I saved up for that. And then so I was 20. I'm about to be 40 this year, and then just, you know what I'm saying, like just went from there. Like I wasn't any good at it. I had to learn from other cats. Moved to Boston. I linked up with some dudes that were making hip hop out here, and then boom, just stay with it, man. Because this is all I ever wanted to do since I can remember. So yeah, that's it, you know.
And you still got the same 2000 to this day?
Oh no, I'm on like my 5th one, bro. Like I be hitting the pads, man. Be going. So yeah.
Fucking muscles, man. Word. Bangers. Jay, what up, Jay? I don't know if your mic's off and shit. How long you been doing your joint for?
Let's see. You know, actually, my story is almost the same as what Stu just described. I kind of had grown up just a fan of hip hop, and then when I was about, say, 15, I got my first set of turntables and started DJing, and you know, got really, you know, pretty good at that. And when I got into my college years, I kind of, I guess, sort of got frustrated with it, and I didn't like being in the club. It's like, even to this day, I mean, I still DJ, I still practice and keep my skills up, but it's like, I have a hard time playing music for like 4 hours straight, and like I don't like any of the music. So after the Blueprint dropped, that was like where I decided, okay, I've got some records built up already. Let me see what this production thing is about. And after maybe like a year on the first version of Fruity Loops, I was able to get a MPC 2000 XL. And that was around 2002, 2003. And then I've been rocking with the MPC Renaissance pretty much since it came out in 2013 or so.
Okay. Mr. Lenn.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been doing making beats for? What was your first piece of equipment you was using?
I first started making beats in 90, 91. I would go over DJ Chaos's house. He had a 7.6 second sampler.
Yeah.
We would blend records together and loop them. And that would be like the first kind of beats we would make and like, you know, have people rhyme to them.
Yeah.
After that, meeting L is when he had the EPS 16 Turbo Plus. Like I didn't have my own equipment until we were finishing Fun Crusher Plus. I used to always go to everybody else's house, even like DJ equipment. Like I didn't have my own DJ equipment. I used to share it with like this crew that I was in because we was broke. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, even then, like I didn't have Technique 1200s when I was doing Fun Crusher. Like some of those shits was on like Audio Technica turntables because like that's what I could afford and shit. A lot of times it was two different turntables. I had a sound design turntable at one point and a Hitachi and a realistic mixer.
That's how you gotta do it, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like it was.
I had the realistic up and down John and shit too. You just froze.
I'm like, you know.
Yo, Mr. Lenn, we loved you, man. We love Cold Flow, man. Me and my bro.
Thank you, sir.
Much respect, bro. Word.
The album classic.
Yo, for real, man.
Yeah, and a lot of that shit was done like on cheap equipment, you know, like the first real cuts on that album are done on a Gemini Scratch Master.
Yo, it's all about the outcome, man.
Yeah.
I still have my Scratch Master to this day.
I mean, because like, yo, it had a sound. Remember, there was no way to curve the fader. You just had to work with whatever was there. So a lot of times you can listen to certain songs, you hear me clicking the line switch to make them sound choppy, and you know, and like that became part of the sound of the production because like now you're hearing like the little bleeps and blips and you know what I'm saying, like you hear record pullbacks where it wasn't supposed to be, and you know it's because the equipment sucked.
Nah, that's the seasoning, man. That's the seasoning, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo,
You know what I'm saying? Like I know cats that got $20,000 worth of equipment and make trash, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's character.
your best equipment is right here, man. Is your ear.
yeah.
If you ain't got that, then it doesn't matter.
Yo.
Real. Vinny. What
Yes,
up?
sir.
What's up with
Going
you?
on,
Yeah, take it back.
man. My start was kind of crazy, man, because I started. Well, my cousin is Davey DMX. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of records for Run DMC. Curtis Blow. His list goes on. So I started from early with the Oberham DMX. Now that don't even have a sampler on it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like kind of sequence the drums, and use a 4-track. You know what I'm saying? With a Casio that I had, the SK1. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
So I started with that. Then I went to the SB12. I needed more sample space. Then I went to the 1200. Then I had an MPC 60. You know what I'm saying? Then the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that I started kind of crazy. I tried the DJ thing too. You know what I'm saying? Had the Technique 1200s. I'm from the Bronx, so I got my first pair of Techniques and a mixer. I don't want to call nobody out, but I paid $100 for it because it was jacked. You know what I'm saying? Which is a blessing. It worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? They had to get rid of it that quick. I took it. Mom's bought it. And ever since then, I just took a liking to the music, man. I've just been back and forth. Track machines, and I had a 6-track, 4-track, 8-track. I tried it all, bro. So that's definitely where I started. And that's like early 90s. You know what I'm saying? I started at a very young age,
That's
Definitely.
Dope. It's dope to have the producers in there. A way to approach a sample. Do you ever have you guys go and want to speak first? Do you ever had a certain way? Do you do drums first, or is it just it comes as it comes? I mean, whoever wants to answer that.
I mean, I always do drums first. That's just me. Drums for me is the skeleton, man. You don't put bones on top of meat. Put meat on top of bones, man. And I don't know, just I got to make sure my drums are straight before I dig for the sample. Like I don't even know, and it just depends. I mean, I'll definitely rearrange my drums accordingly and make sure everything's, you know, how it should be. But I'm always drums first, and I know a lot of cats is sample first, and it's just that's what makes everything great, man. We're all different. As you can see, everybody started different. Everybody started on different equipment, different software, whatever. And everybody, you know, I mean, it's just different, man. That's what makes this music shit amazing.
And I know you guys all done stuff for all different artists throughout the whole industry, underground, above ground, everything. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Apollo, you got a project right now you just dropped, right?
Yeah. We just dropped a joint last week. Yep.
You want to talk about it? Or?
I mean, you know, it's Shay Noor, man. She's part of the you know, that whole movement that's going on upstate, you know, upstate New York, man, Buffalo. And, you know, I heard her, man, and I was like, yo, she's the one to me. So, you know, out of everybody, everybody's dope. Everybody coming out is amazing. But there was something about her, you know, aside from being a female, something about her that just stood out to me, man. And I was like, yo, we gotta do something, man. So I hit her up, and you know, we started building, and then, you know, this is what came out of it, man. And, you know, just she had that imagery, and I like imagery, man. I like when an MC can kind of give you something that, you know, you can go off and just you can picture, you know what I'm saying? You can imagine it. You can vision what they're saying, and she had that. And I'm always looking for that, man. So I threw her joints that I think would bring out that imagery, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of had a sound in mind for the album, and it just worked out.
All right, Stu, you got a project too, right? Don't you? I know you're doing stuff for Ill Bill right now. Am I correct? Or?
Yeah, we did that Cannibal Hulk record, and we're working on another one. Then working on his next solo album. But I just did one with this dude named No Other Flood. He's from New Jersey, but he moved to Texas like when he was mad young. Dude, y'all need to get up on this dude if you're not already. You may already be. He's very good, man. And I heard him from Paz. Paz worked with him. So if Paz usually says someone's dope, I'll usually check for them. And I check for him, and man, like Apollo said with the MC he's working with, he just paints pictures, man. He sounds kind of like Capadonna to me, but he's a little more like, you know, visceral with like the stuff he's saying. It's like he's really good, man. So that came out today, and we're selling the vinyl of it. And yeah, he's just a really talented dude, man. So I was happy with the way it came out.
You also something else that you just you and Apathy are working on an album, or that's
yeah actually, yo, I'm gonna say it, yo Vinny Idol, he got Kiss on one of the joints, man. That's like to me, that's like, I was like, whoa, when I heard him over my beat, yo, it's crazy.
Hell yeah, that's some good shit right there.
Yo,
That's how I
Vinny,
felt with Black Thought, man. Like Jada, I would feel the same way. I'm like, yo, this is, you know what I'm saying? Even being in this, you know, for so long, I still get weird, man. Like if I'm sitting next to Preem, or if I'm sitting next to Pete Rock or some shit, and I'm just like, I still look over like, damn, dog, like,
yeah.
We grew up on them, man.
Yeah,
and then so like getting Jadakiss on a record, man, it's like,
yeah,
come on, man.
Man, Apollo, man, your joint you did with Sky Zoo, man, that's still in my like playlist still to this day, man.
Word, man, I appreciate
that's
it.
That's when
bro.
it big you up. I've been meant to say that before I said anything, man. I'm definitely a big fan of your work, man.
Yo,
you know,
man,
all you guys,
it,
man.
Thank you,
all you guys is fire, man. You know.
That Razzcast fucking album's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
My God.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm a fan of all y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too, man.
You know, Vinny, what do you got going on right now?
Man, I got a little EP called Trifecta. You know what I'm saying? With my man Terry Van Point and Innocent. But I got a bunch of records, man. Shooter. We doing the Fat Rap 3. It's a lot of artists I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the street level type thing. Of course, Alox is about to drop again. Me and Pete finally gonna do an LP together.
Oh,
and yeah, we finally, we don't know when, but we just finally agreed to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like overdue.
Nice.
Perfect timing too for you. That's perfect. You know what I mean? Lenn, what you got coming? You got something going on?
Yeah, I'm working with Breeze Brewing and Jay Trez.
Yeah, shout out.
Breeze.
We just had Breeze on the show on a couple episodes ago. Shout out to Breeze, man.
Breeze.
It's a hard working dude, man.
Breeze, good peoples, man. Clyde, Clyde, what you got coming? I know you got something too boiling up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't want to jinx anything. A lot of, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in VA, in the 757 where I am, and Richmond, the 804. There's a lot of artists coming out of there now. A lot of talent, production wise too. So we're doing a lot of stuff in VA. I just linked up with Elzai for the first time.
Nice.
Apollo, you need to get Elzai. I'm waiting for that, man.
Yo, man. You know,
I'm waiting on a couple of joints with you and
Detroit,
somebody
man.
else, man.
Yo, I know, man. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, so it's, you know, so it's some things in the pipeline, but you know, it's like the biggest one. I don't even want to jinx it, you know what I mean? But I'll just say it's Wu-Tang related. Is all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Yo, how was you feeling about that battle that Ski was throwing?
Oh yeah.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing was I couldn't.
Shout out to Ski Beats.
So in the final thing, I couldn't. The other dude had a way better audio setup than I did. He was dope though. He's dope though. I give it to him. Hats off. Like he won the battle or whatever. But I think if we had the same audio setup, it would have been different. But you know what I mean. It's all good. I mean, I'm willing to. I had my battle days way back when, but if there's a good prize like a free MPC X from Ski, I'm willing to put my hat in the ring. But, you know.
I don't know. Trust me, I felt that way too.
Yeah.
I threw mine in there.
I was happy to get picked from everybody to be like the final four and make it to the final round. So, but you know, it's all good.
But yeah, those are comic books right there. Still behind you.
Yeah, man, that's like my other addiction.
Oh,
comic books. Yeah.
That covers me. I see, man. Cause his art be crazy, Stu. Your art be crazy. I see where you get it from.
Yo,
you know when Stu getting ready, you know that shit's gonna fucking smash and shit. You already fucking know it. It's like you're on that Hulk shit. You need to do that shit where Captain America said in the beginning, smash. That's what you need, like boom for real. Them beats the fucking bangers, man. Sean Price shit too, like yo.
That was my man. Yo, I'm telling you, man, I'm 15 years sober. That's how I did it from going to the gym, man, because I used to drink a little too much, so that helped me out. You know what I mean?
Or I need to do that shit.
That shit helps, man.
I'm almost 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But it's because I got poison ivy and I can't take it with steroids, so I'm like I gotta get rid of that shit. I'm old to have poison ivy.
What was you out? You was out on the trail or something?
I got a fucking backyard.
You went to the fence and back.
How hiking?
How come I knew you had poison ivy and you didn't know?
I don't know. You guys, that's my partner Rocko in the building. He came on.
What up?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody?
What up,
Rocko?
Yeah, man, but it's good to see brothers in here. I want to get like, I know you guys worked with artists, and I want to get like a story, a studio story from each one of y'all that you know what I mean, that you ain't never gave it to nobody else and shit. But Father, I know you all got some kind of studio.
I mean, you know, we got, you know, it's one of them unwritten.
You
like,
gotta put some, you know
what I'm saying? Like we all got stories, man, but I can't, you know.
You don't got a story like a inspirational story or something that happened?
Shit, all MCs need to be like OC. How about that? Like, so me and OC was working on the album, and we was doing trophies, man. This was back in 11, I think. 2011. And we was working on trophies, man, and I flew them out, you know, to cut the record, man. And I booked 4 10-hour sessions, and you know, that's a lot of time, but you know, you never know what you're gonna need. So he got there, man. We went to the studio. I mean, long story short, man, he knocked out 12 joints in 8 hours, and we left. 12 joints in 8 hours. We talking. This is an MC that still does 3 verses. So, you know what I'm saying? He's from an era where 3 verses were, that was what you did, man. So, so pretty much 12 3-verse songs in 8 hours, man. And it was flawless. You know what I'm saying? It was like, get in, get out. There wasn't no punching. There wasn't nothing. It was just get in, get out, man. And I was just sitting there with just in awe, like, dog, I've worked with so many cats, man. And I've worked with cats that it took so long to just do one joint. And man, he did 12 songs in 8 hours. And then we came back the next day and did the other 4 joints in 4 hours. And then I still had 2-3 days of studio time left. And my engineer was just like pissed because I had to cancel. And he had another job. So he had already took off of work, and I don't know, man, he lost money. But I was, I'm like, yo, we would have been twiddling our thumbs, man. It was crazy. Like, I've never seen an MC work like that. And I've worked with a little bit of everybody, man. And I've never seen an MC just come in and just knock shit out like that, man. That was crazy to me, man. So are
you saying that he like? Are you saying that he wrote? No.
Let me go back. No. So part of my process, I'm not a fan of writing in the studio. So I don't like when MCs write in the studio. That's It just don't make sense to me, man. Time is money, and there's no reason for you to. There's no inspiration in the studio. You need to be at the crib writing, looking out your window or something, man. Like, and so I'd rather you write first, and then we get in the studio and record, man. I don't like using the studio for writing. It don't make no sense to me.
Money-wise, of course not, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, he wrote everything, about 80% of the record beforehand. And then, we worked on the joints he still had to write, the next day, man. But, yo, he knocked that shit out, man. I'm just saying, like, I know cats that already have shit written. They come in to record, man. It take them that full 8 hours to record one joint.
Absolutely.
And then have me pissed off the whole day, like, 'cause I'm just like, yo, what are you doing, man? Like, but then refuse to punch, man. I'm like, yo, it gets to a point where it's like, yo, I think you need to punch that. That line was good. Why don't you go ahead and punch? Nah, punch.
No, I got it.
Yeah, they'd be like, no, I got it. I'm gonna get the whole thing, man. Like, nah, just punch, man. So you got the first 4 bars. They was perfect, man. Just punch.
I could do it better. I could do it.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Like, I'm like, come on, man. And so yeah, that's my little PG story, man. And you know what I'm saying? It's just more inspirational for other MCs, I guess.
Yeah, man. Stu, let me get a story. I know you got a story, man.
Not PG, just like back when I was doing shit I shouldn't be doing, like, slaying from La Coca Nostra, just debauchery. I don't know, man. I don't want to be too specific. And then like to allude to what he's saying, like when I work with Paz in person in Philly, he just goes in, boom. He don't even need to lay more than one vocal track because his voice is just like cuts through the beat. And he hits it like boom. He didn't punch nothing. Just boom, like just murders my beat. And it's like that's how it should be done, But yo, speaking of OC, so we're supposed to be doing a project together. Like any tips I could get to motivate him to work faster? Or
Yeah.
Yo, Apollo, he got all the beats picked, and he's been writing and sending me like little tidbits here and there. But I really want to make sure it happens because sometimes.
I don't know, man. You got to keep it organic, man. It's like.
Yeah.
He's from that era, bro. Like you can't change that, man. And it's one of those. The hunger. That what's crazy is the hunger's still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With a lot of the legends, they lose the hunger, man. And you just kind of like they in the booth like Randy Moss on the field or something, man. It's like they don't have that.
Let me ask you this. So should I stop sending him beats? Because he picked like 20 beats or whatever. I send him beats every day. Should I
I send him 5 at a time and let him write to them.
All right, word.
And then when he was done with those 5, I sent him another 5.
All right,
I do it like that. I do it like that with all, like that's part of my process, period. But I don't want to. I just don't overwhelm the MC.
I be doing that, man. I need to fall back on that.
No, you can't You could have the folder. The folder could have 30 joints in it. But I'm saying like send them. I always send them like 5 at a time, man. Like
word.
All right. But that's another thing too. Like me personally, I'd never give an MC too many beats because I know where I want the album to go. I'm the producer, so I'm controlling the sound of the album. Period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we might do 15 joints. I'll send them 20 joints.
All right.
Give them a little window. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know how you want the album to sound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just kind of where I've, gotten to in my career, man, where it's like, I know what I want the album to sound like. I'm not going to sway from that too much. I'll give you a window because I know there's going to be a joint that you're going to be like, yo, I hate this joint. Yeah. And I'm not going to make you rock over a joint that you absolutely hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, I know how I want the album to sound, man. So, I don't give them too many beats, man. But I always do 5 at a time, man, just so I don't overwhelm the MC.
All right, that's good advice. Yeah. All right.
J. Clyde, you got a story?
All right. So, y'all were talking about drinking and all that shit. I got my Boston hat on right now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not from Boston, I just love this hat. But anyway,
all good. It's all good. You can rap.
But so and y'all started talking about the locks, which got me, or Vinny mentioned Styles, got me thinking way back. So the first check I ever got was with Crumb Snatcher from Gangstar and all that. And this is in like 2000, I think probably late 2003. And so this is when I was still with Knots and Daryl, and that's how I made that connection and sold that beat. So he's in town for the weekend, and he has like a long history with Knots. And so Knots was executive producing this project at the time. So he recorded most of it in Norfolk, where I'm from, in VA. So I was just around all the time. And so I was just there, just hanging out, playing music, whatever. So Crumb, if you don't know who Crumb is, Crumb, like really dope MC. He's like, it's like most rappers are kind of like small dudes, like actors are like little small dudes. Like Crumb's like a big, like imposing dude, right? Like you don't want to mess with him. Stu, I guess you probably know him from Boston.
Yeah, we've been in the studio together. Yeah, he crazy, man. He a good dude, but he wild, man. Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's just in the studio environment. Everybody's drinking, smoking, and what have you. So, it's just nothing in particular going on. Everybody's just kind of shooting the shit in the room. And I'm standing in the doorway of like the vocal booth. All right. And so I'm kind of like leaning up against the thing. And I got my hand sort of like on my belt loop. I'm just, it's not in my pocket. It's just right above my pocket. Right. And I'm just standing there, like I'm the only white dude there. Like, so he probably thinks I'm a cop right off the bat. Because let's be honest. I look like a cop, so whatever. But, I'm not, by the way. But so but he's pretty drunk at this point. He wouldn't remember this at all, because he's just killing the Hennessy for like hours. But he's sitting on the couch and he starts looking at me kind of funny, like for no reason. And all of a sudden it just falls kind of silent in the room. And he just like looks up at me and he's like, yo, you got like a pistol on you or something? Because I have my hand right here. He thought like I had a gun like in my waistline. I've never owned a gun in my life. Right? And I'm like, oh, no. Like, it's like 2 seconds go by and like he stands up. And he's like, are you trying to slap box?
Oh, man.
I know Crumb. I know how Crumb is. Crumb's my brother.
Now, keep in mind, I'm like 19, 20 years old. I did like Dude and Friday. I said, no. And luckily, I didn't have to do too much talking because, like, his attention span was all messed up. So as soon as like somebody else said something, it kind of distracted him, and we never had to. I never had to slap box with fucking Crumb Snatcher. But yeah, that was crazy.
That is the blackest thing on this earth.
I literally I've almost had to slap box with the first artist I ever sold a beat to.
Crazy. You gotta earn that money, baby.
Well, I know what kind of shit. What kind of shit is that?
Hey, you earn that beat on your head.
That's right. That's right.
What up, Mr. Lenn? You got something?
Oh, here's a good one. I got a bird high. I was in the studio with
What?
I was in the studio with Gene. It's me, Gene, and Sear. And this dude had a studio, and like he split the studio between him and like this dude on the other side that was doing like video editing or something. But the dude owned like a canary. He would keep the cage open because he had the canary trained. But I'm in there one night, and I'm fucking getting lit. And I walk up to the bird because when you're high, you do stupid shit. So fast forward 2 days later, I get a call from the engineer. Hey man, did you do anything to the bird? Nah, why? What happened? The bird's not there. The bird flew the fuck out the window.
Oh, no.
Damn, man.
Oh shit.
And now I don't know if it's this dude's like emotional fucking rescue bird or whatever the fuck, but like this dude, he's fucking freaking out, and now I can't go back to that studio.
It was like really his pet bird. You're saying it wasn't just a bird that. Damn.
Yo, birds is the worst pets ever, bro. I hate birds, man.
I don't know. Cats are pretty up there.
And obviously he can't handle his weed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, Vinny, I know you got a story, man. I know you do.
Ah, man. Yeah, I got a funny story. Let's name the rapper Tony. You know what I'm saying? So this is we're gonna name the rapper Tony.
You gotta give him a different name.
I don't want to incriminate nothing.
Last name Starks.
Yeah, let's use a different one because
okay.
But let's name him Unknown, the unknown rapper. You know what I'm saying? So this is about the day. This is like the last days of when the laptop stuff came into play. I was lugging around the ASR 15 at the time. So I walk into the studio. Well, first of all, unknown rapper, a cable man had came to his crib and seen whose house it was. So what he did was he had a friend that was, an artist, trying to get into the game. He told the artist the address of the unknown rapper because he looked around and seen the stuff on the wall, plaques, everything, whatever. He gave the guy his number. The unknown rapper wakes up in the morning to see a guy on the front of his steps. Now the guy's ringing his bell because he seen him through the video. He's ringing his bell, everything. I'm a big fan. I want to be down, whatever. So the unknown rapper comes out. He kidnaps the guy, brings him all the way to his crib, to the studio at gunpoint, mind you. So now I'm walking in with the ASR, I'm like, hey, what's going on? So he walks up to me, still with the gun in hand, daps me, hey, Idol, what up? I'm like, what's going on here? I see a guy in the corner, he's begging, I just want to be down. I'm such a big fan. He's crying. This guy's like, I'll die right now. I'm like, how you gonna die? I'll die, so to show y'all how much I want to be. I'm like, how you gonna die at the same time to show how much of a loyal fan of the rap you want? It don't make no sense. So the guy, just the point of the story is the guy was right on his door, ringing his bell where his family lives. Like, this is the hideout crib. He's on his doorstep crying, I want to be down with you guys. Please let me ring the bell. Yo, I'll tell you though. And he had to kidnap the guy and bring him all the way to the studio. I just seen it. Oh, what's going on? I just kept it moving, mind my business. I went right into the room, man. Like, I don't want no parts of this, man.
No, dude, man, you just gotta mind your own business.
Yeah, man. That was just crazy. That some, hey, I guess, by all means, but that was just crazy.
Oh no, that's great.
That's a funny story.
Wow.
It's a sex story and somebody doing it.
That's sick.
Who's that work for?
Huh?
So who has that work for that he was
Right.
that was gonna work? Like,
So it didn't do good for him.
Right. Who's gonna be like, hey, you know what, you crazy motherfucker? I'm glad I met you.
I know,
right? Dude, you come out your crib, Stu, they gonna change their mind.
Yo, I might bring the gun
I
out
got the
too.
wrong house. That's my bad.
Man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Apollo, let me get 3 inspirational producers that made Apollo Brown that you could say that where you get your inspirations from to become who you is. You gonna do 5?
I mean,
3 or 5?
yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Number 1 is Preem. You know what I'm saying? That's the GOAT. You know, DJ Premier, man, it's just, I don't know. I don't need to explain it to y'all. Y'all already know. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta say, I see DJ Muggs is one of my biggest inspirations ever, man. So Muggs is never, for some reason, Muggs is never on anybody's top list. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of my top 3 producers of all time, man. I'm a big Cypress Hill fan.
Yeah, he's a GOAT.
Just, you know, Muggs is, even the resurgence of Muggs right now is just, it's like, you know, it's beautiful. So I say Muggs and, you know, between like Pete Rock and RZA, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was a big Wu head growing up, man, and you know, still to this day, man. So RZA changed the game, man. When there was an industry standard, you know, he made it so there wasn't an industry standard. He made music that sounded like it was from the basement, which it was, man. So it kind of gave us like, yo, the basement? Yo, I could do that. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it made it more, you know, at arm's reach, man. You know what I'm saying? And yo, it just RZA changed the game, man. So yeah.
All right, Stu, who's your 3?
Yeah, Primo, man. Like, yo, that's why I got tables in the first place. I seen him cutting up in that video for Mass Appeal. I was like, that's what I want to do. So, I mean, that's just my GOAT, man. And yeah, Premier would be two of the 3. And then probably ALC Alchemist, man. Like, that dude really,
absolutely.
Just the way he be flipping them soul samples, they make you want to cry, man. But he still got the hard drums behind it when he used to use drums. Yeah, I think he's bored with drums now. But like, yeah, man, those 2, and then Pete Rock in there too as well. That's for me.
All right, Clyde.
Yeah, I mean, I could name 20, but the first guy that really made me want to make beats was probably RZA. Definitely shaped my ear for knowing what's a good sample, but more importantly, knowing what's not a good sample. And then I got a rep for the hometown. My other 2 would be Knots, who, I mean, y'all ain't here. Y'all know about Knots. Might be the greatest dude walking right now. And Bink, who, I mean, Dillaheads might kill me for this, but I think he's the greatest drum programmer that's ever been in hip hop. But, you know, that's debatable for sure. But his influence is undeniable, and those guys' track records are just silly.
Lenn.
Oh, no doubt.
First one, Prince Paul.
Okay.
I love the versatility. You know, and like being able to paint a picture before the actual words are on the music.
That's crazy you saying that you're working with Breeze too, and Breeze and that Prince Paul, the Prince of Monteith.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite albums of all time, man.
I love that album,
great, bro.
Yeah.
Second be 45 King. It's something about what initially may have sounded quirky, and then like you listen to it a couple of times, you go, damn, this shit is hard, you know? At least that's what I got from like the Stand beat. I wouldn't have thought like to take that Dido shit and be like, you know, well, yeah, this is gonna work for a fucking $1 million rapper, you know?
Yeah.
Then Buck Wild.
Word.
Okay.
Buck Wild, man.
Okay.
I was just Buck last night. It's crazy.
Vinny, who you got, man?
Man, sheesh. my list is longer than 3, man. You know.
I know,
but,
but yeah.
man, that's a real tough one. I definitely gotta say my cousin's definitely my inspiration at first. Because but I gotta say like Marley Marl. I was a big Marley fan. You know what I'm saying? Definitely Primo. Definitely Pete Rock. I mean, all the guys y'all named, RZA, the list goes on. Knots, you guys, I just like, because all the greats got they different sonics about them. You know what I'm saying? Different. So, it's like it's hard for me to be like, oh man, that's my top because I just like everything, bro. Like, you got it's knocking. I'm a big fan of everything. So it's hard to be like my
that's
top.
how it is. Like, I bet 6 of our top 10s are the same people.
Yeah,
but that's for a reason, though. That's for a reason. They everybody's top 10 for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. This hip hop shit is beautiful, bro.
It's almost like some dudes just go out saying it's like Premier. You know what I mean? It's like who's not influenced?
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least under the age or over the age of 30, who's not influenced by Premier.
I think Premier mastered the art of simple and make it dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, it's like it's not easy to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like for real, like
it's just one of the reasons why I keep my drums really, really simple, man. Like I've always been, I don't know, I've always felt that for me personally, too much drums just like it just takes away from the music, takes away from the sound.
Yeah.
And Preem, what the thing about Preem too is that somehow he found like 4 or 5 drum sounds that fit with everything.
Dude, I'm telling you, I tell people this shit all the time. It's like I have thousands of drums.
Yeah.
But I probably use the same 10 kick.
5 snares.
Yep. I probably use the
same snare.
Same. You know what I'm saying? I probably use
that one hat over and over again.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey yo, but I'm like, yo, is the beat good? Do you like the beat? And they be like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why are you overanalyzing my shit?
Yo, that's why I use the same snare because I love it.
Look, man, like on Gene Gray's Genius album, Ninth used like on 8 of those songs it was like the same snare. But every song was dope. Yeah. And that's the goal right there. It's like, yo, is the music good? Yeah, the music's great, man. So and it's like, yo, that's all that fucking matters, man. Quit overanalyzing my shit and be like, yo, you've used that snare in another song. Like,
thank you.
So the fuck
that was going to be my question. Do you use it on the same album? You know what I'm
saying? Yo, if I want to, you know what I'm saying? If that's how I feel, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, I might use them in back-to-back joints. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I got a drum pattern that's going, and I'm like, yo, it sounds dope on this sample. Shit, I'm gonna make this other beat with the same one and then try to go back and forth, and then now I got 2 beats with the same exact fucking drums, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm like, yo, is it good? Is it dope? That's all that matters to me. But you got all these nerds out here that's just like, yeah, but you've used that before. And I'm like, yo, man.
James Brown used the same
what, man?
Use it again. I was just taught to use it on the same album.
I mean, think about it. So in rock and roll, the drummer came out with the same drum kit every night.
Exactly.
There was a variation of layers and stuff, but it was the same drum kit every night or every studio session. Why we got to use 2,000 drums? I don't understand that shit. Hey, whatever.
I don't know why they hold us to a higher standard, but
because they want to steal your sounds. I know what it is. Listen, I used to steal some other people's records too. I did that.
I finally, after all this time, came out with a drum kit last year, and that was like I said I would never do it. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna do a drum kit, man. I'm like, I've worked too hard to get these drums, and you know what I'm saying I chopped these drums up, man, for 20 years, man. I'm not gonna But then I gave in and was like, yo, let me.
It's too much money to make, brother.
Dog, tell me, look, man, look. Over from June to June. I'm not even gonna tell y'all how much that shit made, bro. I was like,
good money, brother.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
Bro, come on, man.
Yep.
All right.
I
So
might do
Apollo,
it again.
I can't pronounce that female MC, the album you just came out with her. I can't pronounce her name.
Shay Noor.
Shay Noor.
Shay Noor, yeah.
I didn't get through the whole album. It's probably like 6 songs in, but it's dope so far. And that joint with
Thank you, man.
Thought is dope, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Just happened to run across that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, Paulo, man. What do you when you do it, you just get an artist and then that's your next project, and then to get another artist and that's your next project. That's how
you know what? I've been real lucky, man, because you know I've been on Mellow Music Group for 10 years, man. So I kind of I have creative control. I kind of get to do whatever I want to. So I'm like, yo, I want to work with such and such, or yo, this is who I want to work with next, or it's somebody that I'm friends with, you know, like me and Sky, like we you know, that's my man right there. So I'm like, yo, let's do something. Joel, same, like that's my man. I'm like, yo, let's do something, man. Let's block out some, you know, window to make something happen, man. But it's just kind of what I'm feeling, man. And I don't work with people I don't want to work with. You know what I'm saying? And that's the good part about it is I don't have to work with people that, you know, I don't like or don't enjoy. Everybody I work with, I'm a fan of. Like I'm working with you because I'm a fan of you, and you're an MC that I don't have to babysit. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to send me. I ain't got to call you up and be like, yo, let me hear what you got. Nah, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear anything you got until we get in the booth. And you know, they're people I respect, and they're people I'm fans of, like genuine fans of, man. And it's like I want to make good music. We got a common goal. And that's just to make good, beautiful music, man. And, you know, that's just what it is.
Is there anybody that you guys are trying to work with that you haven't got to work with yet?
Man, for me, it's Jay Electronica, man. I've been trying to work with Jay for a minute, man. And I don't know if that's even a possible thing nowadays, but, yo, I'll drop whatever I'm doing to work with Jay, man.
Stu, you got somebody you would pick?
I think I got beats for Conway. I just haven't been able to make that link. Like him and Benny, I would like to work with them just because I'm a fan as far as new cats. And then like probably like older cats, I would love to work with like Fat Joe or something if I could possibly make that happen. It's not gonna happen, but those would be the ones probably.
Lenn, you got anybody you would pick?
I don't think so.
Oh damn!
Yo, I feel you, bro. I'm trying to I just want to score movies, bro. I just want to get away from all this shit.
I'm good. I don't work with everybody now. I'm straight.
I'm good.
I started doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like, you're like, oh, I guess everybody is kind of accessible. So then it's like, okay, what can I create that's actually worth people being on? You know? So like, if I can get Jimmy Hazel to play guitar or something, like, is it worth it? Like, did I just put him on top of like impeach the president? Like, you know, it's got to be worth it.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like to think who want to work with that I can't. You know, I sound cocky as fuck, but like, you know.
Yeah.
Nah. Vinny, who would you pick?
That's how you got to be.
I just want to be in the studio a whole day with just record just straight the Pro Tools running with Chick Corea playing piano, man. So I could just catch so many loops and just chop.
That'd be nice.
While he's practicing, while he's practicing, whatever he's doing, just let it roll and just.
Yo, that'd be nice.
That's different. Because on my bucket list, I would pick like Bob James.
Yo, I was about to say the same thing.
Word.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the favorite show I've ever been to. My dad took me to a Bob James concert.
Oh, for real?
Like 3 years ago, man. And, he lives here in Michigan.
Nice.
He lives up north, man. And he did a concert at this local college up north, man. And my dad got tickets for it, man.
Wow, that must have been.
Yo, I was the youngest cat in there. I was front row, right in front of the piano, man. And it was just like, I knew every joint. Yo, to hear Nautilus live, man, is like, come on, man.
Man.
Live. Wow.
Patti LaBelle concert or something.
Hey, Clyde.
Yo.
Who you picking if you could work with anybody? Who would you pick?
I mean, are we just rappers? Are we talking or anybody?
Anybody, period. Like you would always want to work with. You already picked. He said play the piano. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I just keep it to rappers and make it simple. But probably definitely MOP. I want to do something with them for sure. You know, I was so disappointed when S3oul lost his voice because Beans was like one of the ones I really wanted to work with. I mean, I still would love to work with him, but
I didn't even know he lost his voice for real.
he had complications. Yeah, he had some complications with. I don't even want to, talk about that. But and then probably Redman. I'd love to work with Redman for sure.
Redman,
You're gonna have some stories with Redman then, if that's the case. Definitely gonna be some stories to come with that.
So City, you wanted to ask Apollo Brown a question. Go, you can ask him. Go ahead.
Yes. So your rhythm roulette, because I peeped that at least about 5 times when I first heard about you. So that Charlie McClain album, I was trying to look for that album for the longest time. And I found out it was just one of those rare albums. That piano snippet that you got, did you ever do something with that? Because
you said you talking about the one I didn't use?
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't do shit with that. I deleted all that shit, man. I think I deleted the actual beat I made for Rhythm Roulette, man. I hated that beat, bro.
What?
You could have said my piano snippet, man.
Yo, I was part of the old Rhythm Roulettes before they started doing the Sprite Studio and shit, man. They started giving cats the good stuff, man. I was like, man, I literally had to go in there and the good thing is it was my record shop, so I knew where everything was, man.
Walking that blindfolded every day.
You can blindfold me all you want to. It didn't matter. I knew where the guy was. I knew where everything was. So obviously, I didn't know what I was picking, but I knew what genre I was picking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I knew I might have a slight chance at something. And I just told him, I was like, yo, I know you don't want to sit here and watch me make a beat, man. Watching me make a beat is boring, man. You're gonna hear shit going over and over and over, man. It's just you're gonna be sitting here. And they wanted to sit there for 2 days and watch me and film me make a beat, man. And I'm like, and they did, but I'm glad they cut it the way they cut it, because that shit was mad boring, man. But yeah, no, I didn't do anything with that sample, man. I threw all that shit away.
I know that piano snippet was it would have been the killer if you did something with that.
I still got that shit, man. I'll send it to you if you want it, bro. I'm talking about the vinyl itself, man. You know what I'm saying? Let you dig for that shit.
Marco Polo had the crappy ass records. He had like 3.
Yo, I'm glad you mentioned that, Stress, because I have this. I bring this up all the time when people talk about who had the best rhythm roulette, and every time I say Marco Polo, hands down. Everybody wants to say Ninth because Ninth made like 12 beats or whatever it was. But I say Marco Polo because he had the highest degree of difficulty. He had the worst records, and he made the dopest beat, right? So he flipped the scale bigger than anybody. Like Ninth had
Ninth had easy records.
Exactly. You get a Tim Breeze record. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, of course you're gonna make 6 to 12 beats in an hour. But Marco Polo had the most dog shit records and made the illest beat.
Yeah.
Yes, he had some 90s records too and shit. Wasn't even old and shit.
And he had singles. The one he made a beat off of was a single, I think.
Yeah.
All 3 of them were singles.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of old boom bap, new boom bap. Just boom bap is that's like my personal, favorite genre of hip hop to make, or the original shit anyway, in my opinion. But I actually, this may be left field, but I really like Big Crit's Rhythm Roulette. Like that shit was hard to me, and just the fact that it was like left field for me when I heard, I was like, yo, this is actually really dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Crit's a monster.
Crit's a beast, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you had to give advice to people that want to get into beat making, what would it be?
Don't do it.
Leave it to you. Leave it to you.
Money lost.
Really though, just like stay true to you, man. Don't conform to what everybody else is doing. And you know what I'm saying? I get all kinds of slack for the type of music I make, man. And you could be making so much more money and you could be doing this and so much more. I don't give a fuck, man. I make what I love, man. I make the music I want to listen to. I'm not gonna make some bullshit I don't even want to listen to, man. I can't do that shit, man. And I'm sure Stu feels the same way, man. Like it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I can make a whole bunch more money if I want to. I could, throw out the 808 kit every time I make some shit. And I don't want to, man. I got to stay true to myself. And that's what I would tell everybody else.
It ain't going to be good if you ain't feeling it when you make it, man. It ain't
Absolutely.
Ain't going to be how you want it.
For real. No, for real.
Anyone else?
I would say,
give any advice?
Yeah. So, like, if you want to get into it as just a hobby, that's fine. And then, other people are going to want to try and make money in a career and have some credits and all that. So that's fine too. But I see a lot of guys that don't know two things. Number one, learn how to manage your time, because that's kind of the most important thing that you have. When you have nothing, the most important thing that you have is your time, right? So you need to be able to manage that. And that rolls into the second thing, which is temper or manage your expectations. Like, I know guys that are really super talented and can make really dope stuff, but it's just, life gets in the way and they can only make like 3 beats a month or something like that. And so if you're only able to put in that amount of work, don't be the guy that's running around mad and frustrated at the world and the industry because you're not getting on. Like, 3 beats a month ain't gonna cut it. So just be aware of that and manage your expectations. If you only make that many beats a month, that's fine. But don't be mad if you're not where you think you should be.
Yo,
I know we all wish we could be knots, man, and make 20 beats a day, bro.
Yeah.
Jay Clyde,
Come out.
It's like, don't compare yourself to the other man. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself, because there's only going to breed animosity and envy, and that's like for every walk of life.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what circumstances they're working under. It might be completely different than you. So.
Yeah, that's one of the things I hate in hip hop. Period, is the comparisons.
Yeah.
Like, so you put this album out, it's dope. It ain't better than your last one, or it ain't better than such and such's, or it's way better than this dude's album.
Yeah.
No, they're their own private entities, man. Like, why they got to be compared to everybody else's shit? I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Why does this beat got to be compared to this dude's beat?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It don't got to be. There doesn't have to be a comparison, man. They're two different beats. Like, love them both or hate them both, or love one and hate one, whatever. God, they ain't got to be. You don't got to compare them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a bad one.
Yeah,
Which brings me to my next question. What's your purpose of making music?
Man.
I gotta do it. My purpose, I have to do it.
It's a passion, man. I was obviously, most of us do this. I was doing it before I could do it full time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was working full time and then would come home and do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it when I was in high school. It's just something I love to do, man. It's something that, you get done creating something and you sit back and listen to it and you're like, damn, I made that shit. I do that to this day. I'm like, yo, I just made that shit. That shit's crazy. And you know what I'm saying? I always ask people, would you rather be successful or significant? Me, I'd rather be significant. I don't know. It's just success. Everybody has a different definition of. When you're significant, especially in this industry, and you leave a mark and you leave a legacy, your shit lives on forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this age where, we have a platform to leave it forever, like the internet. You know what I'm saying? And if I could leave this, and leave and be significant, and know that I've changed a few lives, and I know that I've gotten, people through stuff with my music, man, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I noticed too. One thing I noticed about what you do, Paulo, is you're actually put out your projects. You know what I mean? That's what's dope. Instead of like hearing like Apollo Brown's on this album or this, you do your own. And I like that shit. I like that.
I've never been a placement producer. So I've never been. When I caught wind of cats, like, so what made me start doing that was like, yo, somebody come up to me and be like, yo, I want a beat, man. Yo, and I'm like, cool. And I give them my rate. And they be like, nah, you know, my man down the street, he make beats just like you, man. I just get one from him. I'm like, cool, man, just get one from him. Yeah. And then it got to a point where, you know, cats like me wasn't selling beats on the regular like that. I sell beats, but I don't sell beats crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I got all these beats sitting here I need to do something with. So I'm like, I'm gonna just start making my own records, man. Fuck all that. Like I'm gonna just start making albums with these joints because I can't sell them. You know what? I got too much to just sitting here not doing anything. And I make music for the world to hear. I don't make music to sit on, man. I hate that shit. So I just started making all my own shit, man. And I'm like, let's start. And I've always been a fan of one producer, one MC album. So
yeah. I know that Stu be probably selling beats every time he gets on that fucking Instagram and shit. But how much you want to sell me that beat for and shit, huh? That shit be happening and shit. That shit happens a lot.
No, they just be like, let me get that.
Yeah, they be like that too.
DM me.
You gotta be careful though, because if you what's that saying? You roll around with the pigs, you're gonna get mud on you. It's something to that effect. You can't just whore yourself out there like that. So you gotta pay bills too, though. So it's like it's like a ratio kind of.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I would love to be in a position where I didn't have to sell a beat to someone I wasn't necessarily feeling. But I'm getting more to that point, so I know I'm progressing. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I got a question. So I'm just playing off of what Jay was talking about. How many beats do y'all make a week?
Oof.
Depends on the week.
Yeah, it really depends on the week. But like this week, I got 4 done. But like I'm working on my sound now. I done got my ass whipped a couple of times in battles. So I'm working on my sound now. So I got about 4 this week. Last week was about 3. You know,
okay.
It's about between 2 and 4 a week is what I can get done.
Word up.
I'm at like 15 now because I'm like on a three a day. I would say average.
Man,
Okay.
He was really in the gym with that shit. Word.
I asked that shit because, you know, people always ask me that, man, and I tell them like, so I'm married with kids, man. So I got a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old that's bothering me nonstop all day, especially being home. Especially being home, you know, during the pandemic and all that shit. So, and then I got a wife that calls me upstairs to do the dishes and whatever else I need to do. So it's not like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? 11, 12, 15 years ago, I can make, you know, at my peak, I was probably making 15, 20 beats a week, maybe. Now it's like if I can make a good solid 4 beats a week, I look at that as like, that's beautiful because that's 16 beats a month. That's an album's worth of beats a month.
Yeah.
I only make 2 albums every 18 months, man. So, you know, if I can make, I mean, that's 12 albums a year worth of beats. I don't need to make more beats than that. I'm good with that. 4 beats a week. But that's the thing. You got cats that make 20 beats a day. And they sound like they made 20 beats a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
waiting for somebody to say that.
Mass produced.
Cats be like, yo, I made a beat in 5 minutes.
Yo, I bang beats out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the whole album.
It's like it sounds like you made that shit in 5 minutes, man. Like, yo, that don't be all. I hate when cats be all excited because they made a beat fast, and I'm like, there's no reason to make a beat fast. What's the race? Why are you racing to make a beat? It might take me 2 weeks to make 1 beat. That's because I'm trying to do everything I can to that beat. But it's like, I don't know. For me, man, it's more quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. 4 beats a week for me is beautiful. If I can get 4 beats a week, I ain't made a beat in about 3 months, man.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm just in a funk. I'm in a funk right now, man. I hate everything. So
Marco Polo just said the same shit on his Facebook. He's like, yo, I
hate everything, man. Every sample I come across, I hate it. Every beat I start making, I hate that shit, man. It's like, but then, you know, after not making a beat for like 3 months, I'll get on a crazy like shit where I gotta tell them to leave me alone. I'm like, yo, leave me alone. My wife knows when I'm on a streak, when I'm like, yo, Leave me
Yeah.
alone. Let me stay down here and do what I got to do. Let me stay down here and do what I got to do.
Joe, I'm sure Stress asked this already. What equipment do you use?
Me personally, I use mainly, man, Cool Edit 2000, which is an old shitty program. But I got a machine sitting right here. I got a complete 25 sitting right here that I use for like additions and like hooks and differentiations and stuff, man. And that's pretty much it for me. That's all I really need, man.
Word. If everybody could run it down, because I might have missed it. Did you ask Stress? What everybody use?
Stu shows you on the fucking. Like,
well, hey, everybody else.
Stu, you just use the 2000 XL. You don't use nothing else. That's it.
Yeah, I just use that and then just use Pro Tools to mix it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You got a signature sound.
Thank you.
Still got a knock you the fuck out sound and shit. He's
Paulo does too.
Like,
Thank
Word,
you.
man. Lenn, what are you using right now?
Right now I got a machine. I use my old microcord. I'm cycling out like old vintage stuff. So I just gave my brother my old Fender Rhodes, and I'm trying to get his Farfisa.
You said you're using a microcord?
Yeah.
Wow. When was the last time you seen one of them?
Yeah, it's been a minute. But to go back to something y'all was saying about like how many beats you make a week or what have you, what I had to do was I had to start to approach it more like if I was doing art. You know what I'm saying? So like I would make a bunch of beats and have a bunch of sketches and keep going back to the sketches. Okay, this sketch sucks, delete it.
Yeah.
This one got some work, so I might add some lines to it, come back to it later, go back to it again another time, add some color, whatever, you know? And right now I'm doing a producer pack for one of those companies, like how the joints, like Soul Surplus and
Yeah.
So like even doing those, like that process helped me a lot because it was like, okay, we need 40 or 20 or however many loops. So if I'm gonna try and make all of those in like 2 weeks, I'd go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to make like 80 a week, and then like so it's like I got to say, okay, if I'm gonna make 20, I set aside 25, and then keep going back, coloring shit in, and now I got the shit done because I go crazy. Like I won't sleep, I won't eat. Like there's a reason why like I put shit out so sparingly. Like this shit is a drain on me because I at this point now, like if I do anything that people just like all around is like that shit sucks, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've tried to make records like that. If you ever heard Roosevelt Franklin, like the shit is bugged out, but like it still had to have like elements of whatever was hip hop at the moment, But like I just remember making those records and like going constantly, and like the shit was a fucking drain.
Yeah.
And like when you do shit independently, trust you just want to punch everybody in the fucking face.
Hell yeah. At
the end of your fucking project. You know what I'm saying? Because like somebody like listens to your shit for 5 minutes, didn't even listen to the whole fucking song. You sat there, you mixed that shit for fucking 10 hours. It took you fucking 3 months to get the fucking verse done. Some guy listens to him for 5 minutes and goes, suck my dick, you piece of shit. Like,
tell me how you really feel.
Obviously, I feel the way about it. So, I'm just going to leave it.
Yo, piggybacking off that, you remember when you go over somebody's crib or go to a studio because somebody wanted you to play them beats?
Yeah.
So then you go and play them beats, and the whole time you playing them beats, they doing other shit.
Oh.
Yo, I couldn't. Yo, I'll pack my shit up and leave, and they wonder why I'm leaving, man. And like,
who did that?
You ain't even listening, man. You playing PlayStation, eating chicken, you doing all kinds of other shit, but you're talking, you getting on the phone. I'm like, you're not even listening, dog, and that's mad disrespectful to me, man. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like he was working with Kanye or something.
Man,
that's that shit in the car when you're playing shit in the car for someone and they turn it down and try to talk. Hey, why you talking?
Man,
I know, bro.
But then they don't understand why it's so disrespectful, man. They don't understand for some reason. That's like when you at a show and you're doing a show and the people in the front row, somebody turns their back to the stage. oh, that's something I can't stand. That I'll stop the show. Be like, yo, you can talk all you want and do whatever you want to, but don't turn your back to the stage, man. That shit is just disrespectful to me. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah.
That's when my pit starts.
Hey, yo, Jay Clyde, you said that you use the Renaissance now, right?
Yeah. So I started on the first version of Fruity Loops with Acid. That was like in 2001. Got a MPC 2000 XL. Was rocking on that for like 10, 11 years. And then when the MPC Renaissance came out, I got mine in, I want to say 2013, and I've been using that ever since as my primary piece of gear. And then I mix and edit everything on Pro Tools. Yo, I got a question for Apollo.
What up?
Like, I'm a huge fan of your work, man, and
Appreciate it, bro.
So I was thinking about this tech. So one of the techniques that I love that you and other Detroit guys seem to use, like Black Milk, especially Dilla.
I know exactly what you're about to do, man. Go ahead.
The attack.
Yeah.
So I was trying in my mind, like when I saw you on here, that came to mind, and I was trying to think back to like the first time I heard that or picked up on it. And I can't remember, like, you know, because it's not just a Detroit thing, but was it something that
it's just, I didn't even know it was a Detroit thing. It's just something I do.
I mean, do people attribute it to Detroit, like in Detroit?
I don't think so. People always bring it to my attention though, but I started doing that to get rid of sample drums.
That's why.
You know what I'm saying? Like my attack is so. If I were to take my drums that I put in on the beat, if I took them out, if I just canceled out the drums, like all my samples will go woo, woo, like wherever the drum hits, man.
Right.
You can't really hear it the regular ear can't really hear that shit when they're listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
But I did it so it was easier for my drums to cut through, no matter how high I had the sample, and the sample drums were gone. You know what I'm saying? It was a way to get rid of the drums.
Yeah,
that was just something I started doing a long time ago, man, and I just kept doing it. And people are picking up on it, and they're like, "Yo, man, you side chaining?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't side chain. It's just a manual attack that I put on, the front and back end of every chop."
Because I had heard, I mean, I know, and also like I heard Kev Brown did it like a long time ago.
Okay.
Odyssey was doing it. So it's not just Detroit, but I didn't know if it was something that originated in Detroit.
It's just a technique I use.
Yeah.
Y'all ever heard of the Izotope, the RX7 audio editor? Anyone got that?
No.
Yep.
Yo,
Absolutely.
that shit is money for taking the drums out or taking everything out but the drums. You gotta get
word?
Yeah, it's affordable too. Yo, it's dope, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely dumb cheap. There's another plugin. I mean, Izotope got a bunch of dope products, but I especially I'll get in the nerd bag with the quickness with this one. They got another one. It's called Izotope Vinyl, and I believe that one's for free.
Yeah.
And it's dope because like they have a setting for 2000, 1980, 1970, 40s, 50s, I think all the way down to the 30s.
Yeah.
And even if you put it on the 1930 setting, drums gone.
Yeah, they're gone, bro.
Straight up?
Gone.
Sounds
I
good.
need
I mean, they're there, but it's so dull that you can just rock right over that shit without. And I actually wanted to say this one thing real quick. I know that this is kind of like the case with me. Have you ever like went so far down the rabbit hole of technique and just combining and stacking and learning, right? To the point where you almost get to that point where you almost feel like you know too much, like you can't unknow something now. So like when you go in, when you're shaping your sound and you're crafting and you're molding, it starts to become a chore. You're like, damn, you did something. You're like, I know exactly what I gotta do, and this shit's gonna take exactly an hour.
Yeah. I mean,
that's where I'm at right now, and that's the funk that I've been in lately. I'm like, yo, I just know the amount of time this requires.
Yeah.
So I have it in me.
I mean, using the program that I use is bare bones, and I have to know that, it's going to take me a day to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take me 2 days to, finish this beat or even get part of this shit done. Like, because I mix all my beats when I make them. So when I'm done, when it's done, it's ready. Like, some producers will just make a rough and then, when it's time to make a song, then they'll mix the beat and all the other, I'm like, now I mix it while I'm making it, so it takes me a little bit longer. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, man. I try to be these days, man. I try to be a little bit shallower though. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't delve as deep, man. And I learned that less is more, and just I started learning my listener, even though it's been a while, man. My listener doesn't care about all that shit that I used to care about.
Yeah,
they just want to hear a dope beat. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about. But you see what I did there? But can you hear what I did? You know, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't. So it's just unless it's drums. Unless I used the drums before, you know what I'm saying? But that's about it.
Well, that's like saying the same thing. Like when you have an artist or whatever who wants to listen to a collection of beats, and it's that one beat that you spent, like my man was saying, like, Lenn, like yo, you spend 40 hours on this joint, you trimmed everything to perfection, it's mixed beautifully. I mean, this record would rock anywhere. And then you show them something you work 20 minutes on, and they're like, what's that? What's that? They get all like,
man.
Nah, yo, that ain't it. Come on.
Yo, man.
Put that on by accident.
Accident. There you go, man. I've accidentally played beats that I'm just trying to skip through and shit, and I'm like, like, yo, what's that? Yo, what's that? Play that again. What's that? And I'm like, yo, that's some garbage, man. That's
all you gotta say is it's someone else's. I'm like, okay, go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Then they'll be like, why you show me that then, man? Why you show me that?
Pick from me with interlude beats.
It's always
some of them beats that you do something by mistake be those ill bangers though. You know what I'm saying? You just drop the needle somewhere and you're like, oh shit.
What was
like a
any
record stick or something.
Right.
I don't know if any of y'all watch Seinfeld or not, but I'm a 37-year-old white guy, so I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. But there's a very famous episode called The Opposite. And George, one of the main characters, is this loser dude. And he's unemployed. He's like living with his parents. His life is in the gutter. And his friend tells him, well, just do the opposite. So he starts doing the opposite of every instinct that he has. So instead of being afraid to talk to a woman, he goes right up to her, tells her exactly what his situation is, and she wants his number, right? So everything starts clicking for him. That's kind of how it goes with like picking beats for people. It's like, you know, it's almost like just experiment with it. Like it works, man. Like you think, you know, if I was to put together a playlist for MOP, I could put together the craziest list for them. And you would think like, oh, that's the illest MOP album I've ever heard in my life. But they wouldn't pick one of them probably.
Yeah.
Now, if I take that mentality and say, okay, what are all the joints that I normally wouldn't pick for them, and then send those, they'd be like, dude, can we get more of these or what? Just try it.
You can never send something thinking you're going to pick the artist. Like, no, that's not, no, send me, what artists will tell you, if they're really an artist, they're like, just do you, the best you, don't think of me.
The other thing too is
you say that now, but we go in thinking like, yo, I'm gonna make this, tailor this to the MC, and it don't work like that. We really want something that challenges us and shit. You know what I mean?
And for I said MOP, but you know, for a group like them that has such a defined sound, even if you do give them something that is in that lane that's really good, 9 times out of 10 they'll be like, well, it's good, but we got 20 of these already.
I have that record already.
Yeah,
exactly.
It is Stu Bangaz with MOPs fucking all day and shit.
Yo, my man, Doc, what you were saying about how much time it's gonna take, I'll be like that because I like to chop everything kick snare for like 16 bars, and I want to play it back with no quantization. That's how I get my sound to sound like a little bit different, you know what I mean? But then I'll be like, I'll throw the drums down in a loop, and I'm like, it's already banging, and I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I'll just leave. I'm like, fuck it. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
I got to force myself to do that sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Going back into techniques, I wanted to go back to the attacking technique that you do, Apollo, because when I first heard you, and everybody in the producer's corner that talks to me, they will always tell you that you're my number one inspiration for my sound.
Yes, sir.
But
you know, I hear me and you. I'm playing. But that now. I'm bullshit.
But,
Yo, it's crazy to hear that. Like, it's crazy to hear that shit.
I'm bullshit. But no, you're definitely. I think I told you you're better than me. You're definitely better than me.
I don't want to get into that because
No,
I feel
mean,
like that was a little bit disrespectful on my
That's the thing.
end.
Like I'm humble. Like I think we all, you know what I'm saying? It's like I know there's better producers than me out here.
Right.
I just do what I do, and then I just happen to have fans that like it.
Right.
Man, there's so many producers out here that's killing what I do, man. It's not even. Come on, man. That's like, I mean, I'm cocky about what I do. I think we all need to be, but I know that there's better. I've heard many better producers than me that I wish I made the beat that they made. I'm like, yo, man, I wish I was as good as this dude, man. And that's how I be feeling about you, man. I'll be like, yo, this dude is crazy. That's why I said I use you for inspiration, man. I'm like, yo, this chop game is dumb. I'm like, yo, is it just the ear is crazy? I'm like,
oh, damn handkerchief,
come on, man.
Yeah,
I told you when we met, I was like, yo, yeah, you way better than me, bro.
He didn't even think you even noticed it and shit. That's what's crazy.
Hollow Brown and Soul City versus.
No. I have no hits. But going back to the attacking technique, so when I first heard your sound, because I was actually really trying to study how you chop your samples, and so I figured you were doing the whole Aeolian scale type of thing, reorganizing the chops into this scale type of thing. And then I realized, you know, when the breaks and the drums, you know, kind of silence itself, that attack comes in. Initially, I thought it was just for the side chaining effect, which is why I implemented it into my music. And so what I'm trying to figure out is, you said you did it manually. So was it like an automation type thing, or did you have that set for every time you hit the sample?
No, it's not set. I manually, when I chop the sample, I manually attack the front, the beginning and ends of every chop. I have a certain amount. I have a certain set amount that I do on each, you know, depending how, because I produce in real time, so I don't produce off BPMs.
Right.
I produce in real time, so depending on how long the 2-bar loop is, or how long each chop is, or whatever, I have a certain amount because you don't want to do it too much, but you don't want to do it too little either. I want to do it just enough to where I'm getting rid of that drum. And because if you do it too long, if the attack is too long, then it starts getting away from the drum, and you can start hearing it detach.
Right.
And I don't really want to hear it detach. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be right behind that drum. But still, it's, you know, no, I do all manually, man. Whenever I chop.
And for me, when I usually do it, it's kind of like it kind of I guess emphasizes the side chain, and also at the same time emphasizes the swing or the nudge, if you will, to make it like that unquantized but still quantized at the same time.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good. I think it's a good technique, man. It makes things a little bit cleaner. You know, I've always been a stickler when I heard sample drums underneath third-party drums. You know, the drums, and then they wouldn't be like right, you know, underneath it. It'd be like off to the side just a little bit, so you could still hear that sample drum. And it just used to just bug me, like pops bug me. I can't stand pops and beats. I'm like, yo, why are there pops in your beats, man?
And like when you're zoom in on the sample and you go make that chop, if it's not right on that line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scoops like that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yo, it's not zeroed out. It's not zeroed out at all. It's like,
correct.
Yo.
Yeah, I gotta give Apollo credit on something else, because he like taught me how to chop the awkward time signatures. It's like when I first became familiar with your music, probably, I don't know, like at least like 10 years ago, you know, it's like your first instinct with those awkward records is to like speed them up, like Maker style.
Yeah.
And that's actually counterintuitive. You actually want to slow them down.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when I started like, you know, digging into your music, it just all of a sudden it clicked with me, like, oh my God, now I can go back to all these records that I didn't know what to do with. And now I know exactly what to do with them. And like, now I look forward to like those slow soul records. They call it like sweet soul.
Yeah.
I love those records to chop more than the regular like 4/4 stuff.
Absolutely. No,
Because they have all the ill sounds in it.
Yeah, those are all fun to do, man. Like, and I stopped. I just stopped. I try not to speed things up. I'll speed it up if I have to, but I try not to speed things up. I try to keep things the same BPM that they were as the sample. Well, not the same BPM, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to speed up or slow down, or sometimes I'll slow down more than I speed up. But I don't know. I haven't done Chipmunk in a long time. I think Chipmunk's starting to come back a little bit, ain't it?
Yeah.
Cats starting to do that.
That's definitely a thing.
I know what it was. It was the it was the Hassan Mackey project that did it for me. That's
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that on
Daily Bread.
Yeah, Daily Bread. Yeah. That whole album, like that's what made it click for me. It's like, oh shit.
How do you guys go through your sample clearances? You go through TrackLib or you
all right, man.
sample clearance?
This is where I exit. This is where I exit.
I gotta leave the room about that. We don't talk about that.
I gotta leave the room.
I just was curious because I never did it before, so I don't. You know what I mean?
Bro,
I gotta leave the room on that one.
All right. We'll leave. We forgot we even brought that up.
Yo, I just want to go on record. I've never ever used a sample in my entire life.
Me either, bro. I don't sample. as you heard earlier, man, I use sound design, bro. That's
I take what's yours and make it mine. I don't sample though.
Okay. Sure.
No, that's definitely dope. Wow, the art of production, man. Do you any guys ever go back and DJ at all just to do it sometimes, or you don't even fuck?
Yeah, I'll do it. It depends on just where, like, what the room is. Like, if it's there's places that I know people that own the bar or whatever, and they'll just say, hey, yeah, just come through and play whatever you want. It's an older crowd. It's not really, I can just play breaks, or I can play 90s hip hop stuff. If I can do that and just kind of pick whatever I want the whole night, I'm good. I'm good money with that.
I'll play selector, man. I'm not a DJ. I'll never ever call myself a DJ. I don't want to disrespect the craft of DJing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get called on to DJ all the time, like when I'm overseas or I'm in Australia or whatever. I like to look at it as like, yo, I'm just a producer playing good music. And, the way I kind of approach it is, they're there. I'm like, yo, you guys are all my best friends. You're at my crib right now. I'm going to just play you the music I would play if we was at my crib, chilling. And this is what I would play you. And it's not all the great, all the popular shit. It's like the number 6 on the album, or, just the grimy shit that I love, man, whether back in the day or now. You know what I'm saying? I just play records, man, but I would definitely not call myself a DJ, man, at all. I suck at that shit. I got a good selection, man, but don't ask me to scratch or blend some shit.
Apollo, what came up with the idea with the OC joint with the DOT shit? That shit was dope, man.
You said with the what?
The DOC joint with the OC, the doc.
Oh, yo,
no. Song on that album. That's my favorite joint.
Yo, DOC is one of OC's like favorite MCs ever, man. So he wanted to do that, man. We wanted to redo the formula, and that just kind of
the way the beat drops in.
Just kind of the vibe of it, and then what he talked about, man, and that's just what he wanted to do, man. And Dre in that on that song, he was the one that always said it's the formula. He was like, yo, I got to get you in there to say that too, man. I'm like, all right, man. And
when he said A, and you say yeah,
like, what up, A? And I'll be like, yo, it's the formula. Like, no, that was dope, man. I love that. But that was all him though. That was all him with the concept.
The shit with the Eric Sermon sample too. To your attention.
Oh yeah.
Section for
that's my shit right there. Yeah, that's my shit.
That shit, like, yeah.
I got a question for Stu and Lenn. So I know Apollo and Clyde put their hands in the beat battle circuit. Would you guys ever go into that round?
I got a funny story for you real quick. So there's a dude, his name's Radar Van. He was like loosely down with like Wu-Tang with
yeah.
You know who he is?
Killer.
Yeah. Okay. So
him.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Hold on.
Oh, him.
What?
He was writing me on Instagram for months, oh, I love your beats and I like, this one's dope. I want to battle you. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. Like I'm focused on what I'm doing. Thank you though. Like I'm all set. You know what I mean? And,
thank you though, man.
Yeah, I try to be. I mean, I just didn't want to do it. I don't have time to do that, and it's not going to lead to anything that I really want to accomplish. And then he took a video of mine off my Instagram and spliced it with one of his and called it a battle. I was like, yo. So I hit him up. I was
like, you want to battle that bad, bro? Like, come on, man.
I was like, yo, I'm not feeling that, man. I'm not feeling that. I was like, can you take it down? And he said, man, y'all white people are stupid.
Whoa.
Like, come on, man.
The MPC killer.
Yeah, so he went, that's my beat battle story of recent times.
Okay. Well, we want to know now it's not just with us.
Wait, that was the MPC killer? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The MPC killer?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why would he
That exact same
like that? I'm doing like, oh man, I'm not.
No, he said if you ain't gonna battle, I'm gonna make you battle, man.
We ain't be battle.
It's just funny because we all know that person.
He was actually in the last video I posted on the Producer's Corner.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Rhyming with me.
He's not a fan of me now, apparently.
Dude, like, it's dudes like that everywhere. These dudes are crazy on social media. This just happened to me today as well. There's a dude that followed me. I don't know him personally, never met him, whatever. But he just followed me, and like I'm pretty open to people asking me questions, and if I can help, I'm more than happy to help people out and stuff like that. And so he had questions for me about the MPC Renaissance. And this is probably over like a year, 18 months. I haven't heard from him in probably like 5 or 6 months. But like every time I would kind of be like, yo, how do you do this, such and such, and I would help him out. Again, never met this dude, never spoke to him, nothing.
Yeah.
I get a DM from a friend of mine, and he's like, dude, I just needed to hit you up and ask what was it that you said to this dude to make him go off like that. And I had no idea what he's talking about. And he's like, I'm like, what? I literally like, what, dude? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he went on some like crazy rant about how you were telling him the MPC REM was really easy to use, and if it was so easy, you should be the one helping him out to, like, he wanted me to like tutor him like in person.
Why did they think we owed him shit?
I don't know.
Right, and then he went and made a video. He blocked me, so I couldn't see what he was saying.
Oh my God.
Hey.
But like maybe it would be one thing if I met the dude and said like, yeah, I'll come over, and just like kept curbing him or whatever.
Yeah.
Never met him, never spoke to him, just only DMs, like nice. I never had a bad interaction with him. He never pissed me off. Like, what do you do with that? It's crazy.
People in this whole social media thing, and I know you know this for a fact, catch feelings for fucking bullshit you never even knew about. Like, everybody feel like that towards me? What the fuck I did?
And it would have been, I guess it would have been something if we had just interacted.
Yeah, exactly.
And that put him over the top, and then he made a video. I haven't heard from this guy in like 6 months.
Is this the episode about mental illness?
It's a lot of it running around.
Hey! I don't appreciate you talking about me. I'm right here.
Like, I know that rounds a little bit much. Damn.
Yeah. Like, this story sounds familiar. Hold on.
But so Mr. Lenn, think about getting some battles again.
That's wicked.
Now, you know, I remember when the battle thing started out here in Jersey. I would go to a lot of them. A lot of the people that I was teaching how to make beats. But I did do Beat Society, which was like not really a battle as much as it was just like a showcase and stuff.
Oh, so you did the Beat Society too?
Yeah, I did the one in Philly.
Oh,
wow.
I just remember me and Jay Rawls. And I can't say you don't. I didn't realize how dark my shit was until like I was sitting next to Jay Rawls. And someone in the crowd yelled, "That's some stab music."
Yeah.
Man. J. Ross, his beats are like. I was like, damn, my shit is real dark. I felt.
They stab music a whole new genre, man.
Yo, my Beat Society wasn't no fair, man. My shit was like, every time I would go, they would have Ill Mind go after me, man. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man.
I didn't know everybody knew Hez and Sale like that. I thought it was just like God Lord, all right.
I don't know, Apollo. I might have had the toughest one out of anybody because it was me, Knots, Crisis, and Devon Porter.
Yo, Jay Clyde, yours stuck out
out
though. Jay Clyde, yours stuck out at that. Me and Soul was at that joint.
Yeah.
Yours, to me, my opinion, Jay Clyde, yours stuck out above all of them. I'm not saying that they were bad or nothing, but yours is inspirational. Yours made me go back home. Like it was like 2 a.m. I'm working on beats now.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Thanks,
I got a story. I got a beat battle story. So I had just made that beat Rock and Roll for Helter Skelter, and I was in a battle, and I made 2 beats on that album. And I played them both. I dropped that beat at the battle, and I was really feeling myself. And Odyssey was in the battle, and he right after that crushed my soul, and I was like, damn.
I know that feeling.
He nice with it, man. He nice with it.
Yeah, I love y'all. Y'all good to see y'all come on here and express who did better than y'all. But as rappers, we won't say who had the better verse on a song or something.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We won't deal with anything like that.
Yeah, it's all about bigging up everybody else for me, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's that everybody, the whole give people their flowers while they can still smell them, man. Everybody's everybody's favorite rapper when they die, man. You know what I'm saying? That should be killing them. Everybody's favorite producer when they die.
But somebody
that was
they
my
don't have
favorite.
to rap
Like,
better than you.
It's like, man, I never heard you talk about that dude ever. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know one of his albums.
Yo, Apollo, you coming from Detroit. Do you put Jay Dilla in your top 10? As a personal reference? I mean, personal, like...
people give me, being that I represent Detroit, man, people give me shit for that, man. He might be like 10, 11, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really come up on Dilla's music that much, man. You know what I'm saying? I obviously knew who he was, and I knew what he made, but at that time, I wasn't really into the jazzy style, you know what I'm saying? That style, like the Tribe Called Quest, like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really into that. I was into like MOP and Gangstar, and like I wanted like certain types of music, man. And so like Native Tongues and stuff like that didn't really do it for me at the time. And I can definitely respect it now, man, and see what it was all about, man. But at the time, I was like, yo, that shit's too flowery for me, man, and I just didn't like it. But no, Dilla's absolutely one of the greats, man. He's one of the greatest. Definitely, I would say like maybe 10. If he's in my top 10, he's 10.
Did you ever actually meet him?
Never met him, man. Never met him. Nope, never.
He passed back in 2009, right?
Yeah, something like that. 2000
early 07.
Oh, 07. That's what it was. Yeah.
So you was at them spots where Royce and all that stop everybody was going rhyming at. You was never over there.
Hip hop shop and stuff like that. Nah, man. I wasn't over there. So I grew up on the west side of the state. I grew up in Grand Rapids, which is about 2 hours away. I didn't come to Detroit till 2003, man. After I graduated college, so I've been in Detroit ever since. But
do you have a relationship with Elzai?
Yeah, no. When I see him out, absolutely. When I see him out, or we talk every now and then, man. Yeah, absolutely.
You can never get a hold of him. Like, he just disappears and shit.
No, L's he's hard to get a hold of, man. You got to kind of see him out, man, and kind of catch him in the corner and talk to him, man. But he always got his hat low, man, sitting in the corner, quiet, chilling.
But that, as me being a fan, I always wondered that. I'm like, when is Apollo going to do something with Elzai? That's what I want to hear. That's
man, it's going to happen, man. We've talked about it. We've definitely talked about it, man. But we can't, coming together with schedules and, all that. And then I got, stuff booked up till I always have a schedule, man. And I'm always way ahead of, so it's kind of like fitting stuff in, man. Is, I'm like Stu, man. I ain't got time for all kinds of shit, man. So, But we'll do it, man. We'll do it. I mean, Elzhi is one of the greatest MCs alive, man. So,
Real.
you know,
Yeah, y'all got to do that, man.
Yo, I got a question for Stu. You mentioned it, you're from Boston or the Boston area, so you had done something with Crumb before. Did you ever meet or have any interactions with Guru?
No. Only time with Guru was at a show at 930 Club in DC. You probably know where that is, right?
Yeah.
And yo, he crazy, man. He good. He's an intense dude, but that's it. Not in the studio. I've been in the studio with Crumb, but not with Guru.
How
Yeah.
about terminology, Stu?
Slight shout out to DC, the 930 Club.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yo, Stu, you and Term ever do anything to get together? Or?
Nah, man. I don't know, man. Nah.
He's mostly in New York, though, right?
Now he is. Yeah.
Oh, he's out there. How about the special teams at Edo and them? You guys
I work with Slane quite a bit, and Edo. I know Edo from shows. Like, he's a good dude, man.
Yeah, shout out to LOG. He was
Jason, that's my man too. Like, I know all them dudes from when I used to be out and about in the scene and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Definitely, man. But you and Blackistan, you guys are gonna keep continuing doing the Watson and Holmes because you're on your project right now. Right?
Yeah, we did 3. Like, that's my bro though. Like, he's like, I consider him family, man. So anything I'm doing, he's probably gonna be a part of, even if it's behind the scenes and shit. If you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
he's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
Blackistan said he's supposed to be doing something with you too, Apollo, from being on the on your.
We've already done a couple joints, man. But yeah, we'll definitely. I'm definitely. I owe him some joints, man. So I'm sure he'll collect on those, man. And I ain't got no problem with that, man. No, Black he's an amazing MC, man.
I tell you, that joint with Sean Price and Black, that's my favorite joint on that album, the Grandeur album.
Yeah.
That's the joint where I had Vinny and
Paz
and Blackistan. Yeah. And then I had Sean Price was with I had Sean Price with Rex.
Word.
You know what? God damn it.
No,
Shows how much of a fan
good,
I
man.
am, right?
It's all good, man.
So Stu, I know you got a Sean Price story, man. I know you do.
Oh man. Okay, all right. I'm gonna tell y'all this, but don't get mad at me, all right?
All right.
All right, so we had just done we did that Frankenberry song with him and Buckshot, and we were gonna do an EP together, and we had like 6 beats set aside. Like, I still got 2 or 3 verses. Actually, Bernadette ended up taking them back for projects that got released. But he had come out with the album. It was the album called Neglitius, I think was the name of it, and I called it Niggalitis. And he got mad at me. He was like, "Yo, fam, yo," and he just started kind of clowning me and shit. Like, yeah. And then so that was one of them. And then it was just me being an idiot, like me being ignorant. You know what I mean? And and the other story is when I did those beats off the Helter Skelter, the Rock and Roll, and the 8 Food one. He's like, "I'm gonna give you this money. You don't deserve it, but yeah." First dude to pay me like good money for beats, man. So he was a good dude, man.
Yeah, that was a funny cat, man.
Yeah.
Paul, you got a story?
I mean, my Sean P stories are from overseas, man, but they're not really stories. It's just, me and him didn't interact like that, man. We was cool. We would sit and talk for a second, man, but it wasn't like we was like homies, man. You know, I wish he was my homie, man. You know, great MC, great person. You know, every interaction we had was positive, man, and you know what I'm saying. But he you know, we didn't. I don't have any stories, man. Really.
Yeah, shout out to Sean Price. Rest in peace,
Yeah,
Sean. I personally knew him too. Yo, shout out to. I mean, that's.
And next month is the anniversary of Sean Price.
Last time we actually saw him, I was with Rocko, and he got us in a spot and shit. We was with like 6 of us. He's like, "Come on, Stress, I got you." He's like, "Yo, me and Stress," and it was the last time I seen him. And it was like a month later is when we found out about that shit. And I'm like, damn, man.
2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks.
You was there, Grimes, too, right? You was at the Stillies that night or no?
Yeah.
So that's just crazy. Most
definitely. I got footage of that night too. Him on stage with Ella G, last concert.
Shout out to Ella G and shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, you guys, man, I know you guys might have to be doing something now. You got a few, a little bit more longer, but if not, I appreciate y'all coming in here and doing this. And I'm gonna, be hitting y'all brothers up in the future and future ones, because we're doing this continuously. You know what I mean? This is episode 13. You know what I mean? And like, boom, you know what I mean? We had like good ones. We had ones where, I mean, I send you. I mean, I think I sent some of y'all, some of them where y'all could have seen like we was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I'm just like everybody in here. I'm sorry, Rocko. I love this shit. I love this culture. You know what I mean? Hip hop, and that's the reason why we do this. You know what I'm saying? For real. But go ahead, Croc. My bad.
I mean, if you care to share where the people could contact you and all that stuff, your social medias, that'd be great if you.
Word. No, I love just getting a bunch of producers in a room and airing out our grievances. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I'll be hitting you up again.
especially when it comes to MCs and other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that we go through that other people don't realize, man. You know, everybody thinks the MC has it hard. Come on, man. Try being one of us.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Apollo. It was really good. Not just Apollo. It was really good to hear y'all just say, you know, the stories about how y'all got beats that y'all don't like. Because every time I make something I don't like, I feel like I'm failing and like
man.
Doing.
Yo, I got so many beats that's trash, man.
Oh my God.
Yo, if you heard but the thing is I don't put them out though. That's the thing. Like,
yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna do what Madlib said. Madlib was like, "Yo, when I die, burn my shit because I don't want to be exploited." You know what I'm saying? Yo, I got strict instructions. Like
somebody going like you.
When I die, take all my external hard drives and throw them shits in a fire. My computer, everything, throw that shit in the fire.
I don't support
all you need is what I gave you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want you. If you didn't hear it yet, it's because I didn't want you to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth.
No, I agree with that. So,
yeah, I love that because it keeps me on track.
Anyway, so it really wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And you know your password on your computer and all that shit.
But I mean, it keeps me on track because I don't know what anybody else is dealing with when they're in their own home studio. I know what I'm dealing with, but to hear the like people I look up to hear that they deal with similar things, it keeps me.
Oh yeah, man.
It keeps me going. You know,
people, man, human beings, man. Word.
One thing, sound, and for people watching, it goes back to what I was saying about managing your time. Like I work a regular job. I'm not doing this full time, so every free second that I have is devoted to this, right? And I think one skill that is really important, especially when you're in that situation, or you got other obligations. I'm a single dude, no kids. That's a sacrifice that I've made. So, but if you have, hey, if you got a wife, you got kids, you got other responsibilities, now you really have to manage your time even more. So don't be afraid to delete stuff. Don't be afraid to, just because you start something doesn't mean you can't trash it. Like 10 minutes later. Like absolutely. I have almost a strict rule, like, cause when I hear a sample, I kind of hear the beat in my head. So when I get it and I chop it up and it's not going the way that I felt it within probably like 10, 15 minutes, scrap it, go on to the next one. I'll come back to it later and hear it completely different. So don't, just try to gauge where you are in that process. And if you're not feeling it, don't force it. Just go on to the next sample.
I tell people too, man, make a lab work. Like I got this thing where I call it a lab work folder. So it's just a folder of like hundreds of unfinished shit that I like. If I chop the sample and I'm not really feeling it right now, there might be a day, man, in 3 weeks or a day in 4 months that I might listen to it again and be like, yo, that shit's crazy. Yeah. Because your moods change.
Yeah.
Your taste change, shit like that. So a lot of that stuff, some of that I don't scrap. I'll just put it in the lab work folder, name it something, and then go back to it later, man, and see if I like it and whatever. But definitely manage your time. Absolutely.
Yeah, I do that same exact thing, man. I got my loops, my samples set aside. Like you said, one day I might not be feeling it. Then I go back another day. I'm like, yo, I'm ready for this now. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
That is that time consuming shit right there. Yeah. For real.
Yeah. Fresh ears is everything. Yeah. Like those breaks are really important. Like one thing to go to what Soundmindz was saying, like we've had a bunch of different conversations about this kind of thing, like when you kind of have those self-doubts and all that stuff. And I always tell them, like, back to you were saying, J. Clyde, about like the time management, like when you're doing things, it's just as important to take those breaks as it is to really get into the groove with the fine details. I mean, because like when you're listening to sound after a while, the redundancy of it can kind of knock you off of your ultimate goal. You know what I'm saying? Which is to highlight the parts that you want to highlight. And another thing is don't rush something. Like just because like you spent a good 4 hours in it, you like the way it's going or whatever, like give yourself a day, sleep on it. Give yourself another day, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself a week, if anything, if that's the time you have. And then go back to it. Cause like the one thing that I hate the most is when I make a beat and then a week later I'm like, damn, I could have added this, or ooh, I should have took away that part, or I could have probably added additional 2 bass notes on the tail end of this. You know what I mean? Like when I'm done with the project, I want to be like, yeah, I did that. That's exactly it. Like it was exactly what I intended to the T.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's hard to just, you know what I mean? If you're doing a beat and you don't like it and you just deleted it, it's like for me, I went this far for a purpose. Like I played with it for a reason. So
I
for me to just
mad
delete it
in front of people. Like, no, don't be like, yo, I'm like, no.
Sometimes it's garbage.
Like that shit was hard. I'm like, that shit was whack, yo. That shit, get the fuck out of here. Like,
I told you that a billion times, Stress. You didn't listen to me.
Yeah. And then prior to our sample challenges, I used to tell Stress, ain't no such thing as a whack record. I can make something out of anything. But you got to do things every week. You be like, yo, man, I don't like this album, man. Like, this is trash. You know
Yeah,
I guess the hunger is different. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So, specifically speaking, I just want to go back to something real quick. Like I just recently did the battle for beat conductors, and I just want to give my flowers to S3oul City and Soundmindz, because those are the guys right there. Like as much as like we go back and forth, and you know what I mean, we're always giving each other props and all that. The funny thing is the things that they don't hear is like I'm terrified of them, just like they say they're terrified of me. You know what I'm saying? So like I'd be like, yo, he'd be like, yo, I don't want no smoke, or we joke and we said we want that smoke and all that, and it's just like I really do admire these guys' work. These guys are extra dope, man, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like it's just funny.
Rhymes want all the smoke.
Yo, and just piggyback.
Yeah. I don't want none of the smoke.
Yeah.
What Jay was saying about managing your time, and I think that all producers, whether you have a job or whether you do this full time, and I think you should do something that has to do with your craft every day, man. I think you should treat it as a job. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you just come down here and you making drums, whether you're chopping samples, whether you're digging, whether you're collecting samples, whatever you're doing, I think you should do it every day and treat it as a job. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. For me, it's my career. It's how I feed my family. So even if I don't feel like I haven't made a beat in like three months, but I still come down here every day and make drums, go through samples. I'm always listening to shit. I'm always making sure that I'm honing my craft. And don't be afraid to learn some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a student every day, man. I don't care if you've only made beats for 3 months. If you know something that I don't know and you're willing to teach me, I'm willing to listen. It's these cocky dudes out here that think they know everything. And they sound, you just gotta,
you said that.
Yo, you gotta
love
be
the fact you said that. Yeah. I'd be preaching a good word all the time. I'd be like, listen, there's tons of stuff that I have no interest in, but I'll learn it just
absolutely
to have it under my belt. You just never know. You could run into a problem with a certain aspect of your production and then be like, you know what, hold on. I did this one time. I don't care for EDM all that much, but I attempted to do a record and I actually learned a technique in the process of. So let me apply that technique with this and see what happens. And before you know it, presto.
No doubt.
Yo, Apollo, that's a biblical principle, man. That's from Proverbs, man. A fool is wise in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. It's true.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No doubt. Like you can't stop learning, man. You got to be a student of the game. I don't care how long you've been making beats. Remain a student of the game, man. There's always something to be learned.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, Apollo, that's a great point, man. And I know we all get beat block, and that can be frustrating, but don't let that be an excuse. So you want to be a producer, like be productive.
Absolutely.
If you're not making beats, there's always other things you can be doing to be productive. So if I hit a snag, or I just want to step away and rest my ears for a minute, I'm going through breaks, chopping drums, like you said, sending out beats, scouring the internet to see which artists are looking for beats.
Absolutely.
You know, every producer I know has like dozens of unmixed beats. Go mix some shit, make a remix. You know, seek out new artists that you never heard of before, and try and work with them before they get famous. So there's always productive things you can be doing to further your beat making, even if you're in a beat block. And the other thing too is, just don't be afraid to approach people if you feel like you're good enough. You know, don't be a psycho with it, but you know, I'm talking about.
Don't be on nobody's doorstep.
Yeah, don't be on nobody's doorstep.
But I want to be down.
The slap box.
Don't try to hit up Kanye on Twitter, but you know, a lot of smaller artists manage their own social media, so you can have that direct connection with them. Don't be a psycho about it, but. You know, if you're really good enough, you know, the cream will rise to the top, and they'll recognize that. So, you know, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, but at the same time, be self-aware enough to know the limits.
Piggybacking on, you know, you always gotta continue to learn. You always gotta continue to try to teach yourself things. You know, every time I run into a block, or every time I run into a situation where I'm just stuck at a certain peak, you know, I go out scouring for new producers, and one producer that kind of came to my attention, like a little bit more recent, was DiBiase.
Oh yeah.
Like with his whole situation is, I mainly known him for all the showcases that he does, not necessarily for the albums or with the artists that he worked with. Just the showcases alone was enough to say, yo, he's doing something. And I studied his sound a little bit, and one thing, you know, that I learned from him was that, you know, the drum, or the snare drum, doesn't always have to sit on the 2 and the 4. You know, you can always go complex with your drums. You can always go with these ill-typical, you know, drum patterns, you know, and just, you know, experiment with different sounds. Hence the sound design situation for me, which I've been preaching to Soundmindz about for a while, you know.
And me too.
Yeah, so, you know, we were talking about go ahead, Lenn. Go ahead, Lenn.
Are you guys familiar with Oblique Strategies? It's like a collection of cards by Brian Eno from the Talking Heads, and it's mainly for creatives. And what happens is when you find yourself in a block, you go to this deck of cards, and like it gives you a new perspective on what you're doing. So like one card might say, your mistake was a hidden intention, you know? So now like the off hi-hat now means something, because now you're searching for the meaning of this off hi-hat, and now it's put this whole new perspective on what you're working on.
Oh, so you mean emphasize on that situation?
Well, that was like one particular card that would say that. Other cards might say something completely different. But, you know, like I say, it's all meant to give you a new perspective on whatever it is that has you.
And what's it called again?
Oblique
Strategies.
Oblique Strategies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down right now. Matter of fact.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back and watch this episode again. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I ain't gonna fake
I go back and watch all these episodes. You know what I mean?
Word up.
Work smarter, not harder, baby.
Well, so we're talking about stuff that is good to employ when things aren't going good, but I think just as important is when things are going good, have somebody. Have somebody in your life that, number one, can give you honest feedback, but more importantly, have somebody in your life that humbles you.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean that was the joint, like the joint like we did with Sean P. The joint I did with Sean P. and Rex, man. It was called Yes Men. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things I hate. I hate yes men, bro. I can't stand yes men.
Right.
And it's like, yo, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of the music sounds the way it does now, is because all these dudes got all their dudes in the studio with them, talking about, yeah, that's dope. That's dope when that shit's trash.
Right.
It's like always have somebody, that'll give you, honest feedback. Like, yo, I'm not feeling that. Like, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can't be hurt by it. These are people that you respect, people that you trust. If you're in this industry and you got thin skin, dog, you don't need to be in this industry. You know what I'm saying? This is we get
bro, they be
we get criticism all day, every day in this industry.
When,
but I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been privileged to, I've known Knott's a very long time, and he's like, my big brother. And whenever things are going good, so I go sit with him probably like 3-4 times a year, and just play him a bunch of stuff and listen to his stuff and just talk. But I don't go see him until I'm on like a streak of just like dope shit and I'm feeling myself. Because that's when I need to see him.
That's the humbling factor when you're on that streak and they tell you, oh, that's trash, that's trash.
No, it's just, no, not that, because it's not going to be like trash, but I need to sit with him.
He's like,
I need
not
to.
Gonna be trash.
Yeah. Come on now. I've been doing this too long. I'm not going
to. That's all right. That's all right. I like that one.
What I'm saying is, like, when I'm on a streak of, like, dope shit, that's, like, undeniably dope, I need to go sit with somebody like that can just crush your spirit. If you sit with Knott, I don't care if you sit with Knotts for 5 minutes or 5 hours, you're going to leave the room thinking lesser of your music.
He don't even got to say anything. All he has to do is just play another beat. Just play a beat.
Yo, there's 2 of them in here right now that do that to me every time I see him. So, and Doc Spliph kill me every time. When I hear their music, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Them too. Like, they're my teachers.
The funny thing is it's likewise. Because little do you know, when I'm making my shit, I might be feeling it. You know what I mean? Whatever. I mean, clearly, like, I hit the export button. I must be feeling something, right?
Yeah.
But then also I listen to mine, and within like 10 seconds, I'll listen to one of y'all's joints, and I'll be like, damn, I did it all wrong.
Like, that's how you get better. That's how you get better.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing goes 3 ways, man. Like when I heard Doc was joining the battle, initially I thought, okay, I can't go up against this dude because I only got maybe 4 beats that are actually decent in this entire battle.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, damn.
Same thing with Soundmindz, because a couple times he had me scared for a second.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just like, yo.
And if you don't know anybody,
I don't know. Go for it.
I was saying, luckily, you guys know each other and know of each other and can, communicate and hear each other's music all the time. But like, if you're somebody in, the middle of the country, small town, and you got no scene there or anything like that, the world is your oyster. Go on the internet and you can find all these guys doing beat sets. Like you just said, DiBiase does great stuff. I mean, Marco Polo, you name it. There's tons of people that you can look at that should be humbling you. One of the videos I go back to all the time, there's a great video of one of my favorite producers of all time, Ty Fife. He's going to submit beats for 50 Cent, and he's playing a bunch of stuff for Sha Money right before they were making Before I Self-Destruct. And like whenever I think I made like a gang of hot shit, I'll go listen to that, watch that video over and over and over. And like, either I just get humbled or inspired. And every time it's unbelievable.
Right. I think another
about Black Metaphor, man.
That's how I think about you, Apollo. Every time you come out with a new album, that's my new inspiration.
Yeah, it's totally true because he will tell everybody about it, like behind your back and to your face. Like this man is a fan, yo. Like he makes all of us.
I appreciate it.
I made sure he was in here.
I just wish I could still make like hard beats like Stu. I can't make hard beats anymore for some reason.
Yo, Stu got the hardest shit.
Like my beats, I used to make hard beats all the time, man, and for some reason, man, when my daughter was born, man, my whole mindset changed, man.
You embrace the flowery sound.
Instrumentals.
Oh man, I can't make hard beats no more, man. I just make light, introspective beats, man.
He embraced the flower.
Yo, yeah.
Yo, the Sir Jinx, we interviewed Sir Jinx in another one. He said that's the same thing. He said he wants to play some shit. Him and Dre are cousins. He'll go to Dre's studio and he'll play shit. And you'll see Dre and Dre looking like that beat sucks. He'll say like to him like won't even give a fuck. Like won't even like yo, nah, that beat play something else. Nah, it sucks. You're like boom, and that mentality to get to that level is like, you know what I'm saying? Like now you saying go to Knots. Now you gotta go to Dre, and I mean Dre got a whole different mentality how Knots says, you know, the record sales, but Knots are gonna blow your mind what the fuck he's gonna play and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he said he'll just play it, and Dre's like, no, play the next. What's next? What's next? What's next?
I ain't gonna shit on nobody's dreams like that. Like, I might, you know, I when I graduated with an HR degree, man, so it was like you always follow up a negative with two positives, you know, and that's kind of what I do when I'm like judging beat battles and shit like that, man. And give criticism. I might say, yo, whatever, but then I'll follow it up with two positives. Yo, but them drums was crazy and whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna kill nobody's dreams and their spirit, man. Make them go home and kill themselves, dog. I'm like,
Speaking of for everybody who's been a judge here or whatever, I've also like had, you know, a fair amount of judging as well. I'm just curious to hear y'all's criteria because I have like a set in stone list of like the immediate go-tos for things that I listen to. So I'm just curious to hear what y'all's are. Anybody who's ever judged in here, whether it be 1 or 100 battles. You
know what, man? Sonically, probably like the Sonics. I don't know. I feel like I might be biased to a certain sound too. You know what I'm saying? Just to admit that, like, you know, I might be. Yeah. Somebody might play some ill shit that's like, but then somebody might come out with some. It might not be as sonically appealing. It might not be as clean, but it just catches me, man. And I'm just like, oh, that shit's crazy. Like for me, man, I think I'm a little biased to a sound. So, you know, certain producers might have an edge over others in a beat battle with me, man. That's just me admitting it.
Right. Yeah. With the one battle that I judged, which was Soundmind's first battle,
that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit of bias for me, mainly because, you know, I figured with that specific environment, it was gonna be a certain sound. But what I also did look for was not necessarily complexity, but like I guess overall instrumentation. Like how much can you add in without making it sound like a giant mess?
Yeah, I kind of, you know, like S3oul City is a great example. I mean, I love what he does. Now, I've really, the ones I've judged are the beat conductors, and they've all been in since the beginning of this year, and I've had a great time doing it. And so, like, S3oul City has a great sound that I kind of look for. Soundmindz also, like the way he chops stuff is very similar to the way I think about things. But yeah, it's kind of like I try not to think too deeply about it. It just does it get a reaction from me? You know, do I start nodding my head at all, or am I just kind of sitting there? And I try not to. You know, a great example. One of the best guys in the whole beat conductors thing is this kid named Flames Emoji. Oh, he's the most opposite. I thought he was whack the first two beats. Seriously, because the challenge wasn't set up for his strengths. It was like a sample flip challenge. He's not a sample flip dude, so he was like terrible. And I had him at the bottom of the list. I told him this after the competition. But then he could play his own stuff. He just started murdering people. He was crazy. So you can't be locked into a certain mentality going into it because somebody's going to surprise you. And just mow everybody down like he did.
You see, for me, I think I always I always had like this image of what I'm looking for in my mind, but it wasn't actually like really put into words until one time we had like a producer's corner chat with a bunch of members, and one of these guys, I got to give him credit, and specifically it was Beat Nerd, right? And so we're all talking and we're like, yo, the judging seems a little crazy for the sample challenges and the TPC. And we're like, yo, like we need to like really like apply some sort of like math and science to this, because I mean, some of these choices just don't make any fucking sense at all. And so what we ended up developing was like, you know, from a collective of people, a whole bunch of people in chat, probably like 12 people got in on this. And so ever since then, this has been like my gospel, so to speak, right? It's replayability, arrangement, mixing, create like sample chop creativity, drum usage, additional instrumentation. So like I have this set list of criteria, and that's just to name a few. There's probably like 2 additional ones that are like the absolute go-to. So what I do to not create a bias is I go systematically through there, and let's say if 2 beats are so close they fit all those, they check off all those markers, then lastly I go off the feeling it gives me, which that feeling is mainly preference. You know what I'm saying? So like I can systematically go through the things to avoid throwing my taste in a mix, so I can, like, you know, achieve hearing everything that, you know, somebody did or whatever, like the complexity of what their production was or the lack thereof, and if they made it dope by just, you know, using minimal components.
See, I think that's
when I'm judging, I'm also, because I'm an MC, so a beat could be ill, but could you even perform it? You know what I mean? Could you see yourself in the mirror or on stage rapping to it? You could have some ill shit, but no one could perform to it.
See, I think that's another component that goes into consideration. However, I feel like if it's a showcase thing, that's such a small component, because realistically, I just want to hear what you can do as a producer. Like, what are your skill sets, and how is your creativity stack up against the next man's? You know what I mean?
Right. For me, with that specific aspect, usually with these beat battles, a lot of these beats aren't built for artists to rap on. Like,
yeah, exactly.
1 minute joints, they throw everything that they can possibly think of into that one joint. Yeah. So it'll be almost impossible for a rapper to rap on it.
It's a different skill set.
Yeah. There's a conflict of interest with the format, point blank period, off the rip.
Yeah. So even, you know what I mean, it could be the most obscure or unorthodox beat, but you know what I'm saying, if you can't even perform to it, you can't sing to it or whatever, you know, people come at me like, Rocko, you know, you couldn't even spit to that shit. I'll be like, you know what I mean, you got to take those things in consideration. Of course, you want to hear transitions, you don't want to, but sometimes, you know, sometimes less is more. Somebody said that earlier, you know what I mean, you don't have to do transitions for that to be a real ill beat. That, you know what I mean?
Man. I be in my repetitive bag, man. I love that shit, man. I hate when beats break off into some shitty part, man, and you want the other part to come again, you know?
I agree with you on that shit earlier.
Yeah, but if it gels together, here's the thing. Like I think even with Soundmindz, I use Soundmindz as an example because he's one of the more like how should I say this, like exotic producers in terms of when he's doing a showcase performance. He'll have like a little segment where he's doing like a spitter's part. It's only like, sometimes it's 4 bars, sometimes it's 8 bars, or sometimes it's 6, and then the transition leads into another part of it. But
that's the style,
he'll do like this little combo of film score, verse section. He'll have the breakdown. He'll have, you know what I'm saying? So like when I listen to his shit, I'm just like, yo, that's everything I want to do, but I'm so, you know, like I have to tear myself away from song format. You know what I mean? To be able to achieve that, like I have to like mindfully do that, and like that's one of the things I love about listening to Soundmindz. It's like he lets me know that it's okay to break off, and that's one of the things he tells me that like he struggles with sometimes. He's like, "Damn, should I not do these things?" I'm like, "No, tell you like," because he'll tell a story with it, and I'm like, "Yo, that's far more intriguing than if somebody just looped a 4-bar loop." You know what I mean? Like I don't know, in my opinion anyway. Like in terms of the showcase,
no doubt.
But sometimes
anybody here collect records?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a collector. I would call myself a digger. I take back a lot of records and get credits. So I only keep what I like, man. I only keep what I'm gonna listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like
you turned it into a London library.
I'm saying I don't have to pay. I don't have to
some
pay
of my
nothing
joints
to dig,
in my
though.
other room. The room over there. That's
Man,
some of my
record's only $1.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying. That is his shelves.
Got some of my.
I don't gotta pay to dig no more, man. You know what I'm saying? I got credits, man.
You would hate me as a collector, man, because I do not take care of any of my records. Once I've pulled out everything from that record, it's sitting in a dark corner somewhere.
Oh, trust. There's a
not a
damp corner in my basement with the records that just never get used again.
It's in the basement too. So, yo, I wish that what you said.
Got
When
Cheetos?
I started DJing in 85, 86, DJing. And I used to take the records. I don't know the little white piece or the plastic piece that be in the middle of the record. I used to take it out and then put the record back in so I could DJ fast. And all my classic records are fucked because of that shit. You know what I'm saying? They all got lines around them. And I'm doing that shit. You be at a party, you gotta do it quick and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, go.
Right.
Yeah, I feel you. Or just chuck them right in the crate without even a sleeve, and like I'll get to it later.
Get my I got my records and I got his and shit from DJing with each other and shit and all that shit. Shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I guess my situational records, I guess that really pertains to my age. Like you guys talk about like with your DJing equipment, you know, talk about y'all getting 1200s and the Audio Technicas and stuff. My first set of turntables was a Newmark NS7, and I got that when I was around 16. So
man, Newmarks and Geminis, man.
All right. Mine was a controller from the jump, so you know, I guess that kind of sits in with my certain treatment of records.
You know what's funny as hell, and I'm sure y'all have noticed this, but maybe you hadn't verbalized it before. But going back to the rhythm roulette, it's funny because number one, you could tell who's a record dude and who's not by the way they pick up the tone arm.
Yeah.
They don't know that the little tab is for you to put your finger under. Yeah. You just pick up the whole tone arm and like. And as soon, I shit you not, if you go back and watch every episode, damn near, it might be one or two exceptions, but every time a dude does that, I'm like, oh, this shit is gonna be garbage.
Yeah, that's like
they never DJ'd in their life because who picks up the tone arm like that?
Yeah, that's mad funny you said it. Yeah, you could tell like a lot of the producers who started off as DJs first. You know what I'm saying? Because they know better. You know what I mean? Most of them anyway. Either that or they just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? They're just like, whatever. It don't even matter. Like I'll never touch this record again after this. Fuck it.
What's the last time they did a rhythm roulette? That was like what, a year ago?
They still do it or they don't do it?
I don't even know if they even do it anymore.
I don't think they do it anymore.
Apollo, how did they hit you up on that shit? They just hit you up?
They just hit me up out of the blue, man. It was like, yo, we want to come into town. They flew in with all kinds of equipment and shit, and
that's dope.
Sat there for 2 days and watched me make a beat.
Yo, I would love to do a rhythm roulette, yo, for real. I would bore the hell out of these people.
I'd be nervous just like Apollo was.
I kept apologizing to him and shit. I'm really sorry, man. I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's not really that great to watch, man.
It's not glamorous at all. Like I remember taking my girl to the studio a few times back in the day, like one of my exes, and I'm like, yeah, you wanna come to the studio with me? Bad idea. She was bored after like 10 minutes. Yo. Like it was like cool to see all the equipment and look at the environment and the booth and all that. And then after that, it was just like every time I look back, it was like, can we go yet? Can we go yet? Can we go yet? I'm like, damn. Yep. It's rough.
That's just how it is.
Have a girl in the studio.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's just boring, man. Like unless you're lucky enough to get with the artist that is really a pro and knows what they're doing, like Apollo was talking about OC earlier, somebody like that where they don't have to run through the verse a million times. I mean, that shit gets boring and repetitive, and the worst is doing R&B records, man. Oh my god.
I'm finishing up one right now.
Apollo, did they let you see it before they aired it, or you just saw it when it came out and shit?
No, I saw it when everybody else saw it. That was
shit.
Yeah.
How long did it take before they did it?
You said what?
How long did it take before they did it? A couple months? Or?
Nah, man, it was a turnaround. It was like a few weeks, man. It was like 3 weeks or something like that. It wasn't yet. It was right on it. But they had other people obviously in line before me. So
the funny thing is, when I was talking to Kev Brown about it, Kev was instantly like, no.
Oh, word?
he straight up said no.
You don't see Pete or Premier doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think, I thought I would love to see Premier do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, bro. Large Professor
did Kev have a reason?
I guess the biggest reason was, he doesn't like to, just pick up records without seeing it. or just picking up any type of record and then trying to pull something out of it. For him, it's just a waste of time.
Because what's interesting,
even though he easily can.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the king of the baseline right there.
Exactly, right? But I guess his thing is he just doesn't want to waste so much time trying to, even though it'll come out dope regardless, he just doesn't want to waste that time, trying to sit there for hours trying to put it together.
I mean, it's for entertainment, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Because Kev is kind of like one of the pioneers of that, the beat making video, because he was one of the first guys on YouTube really with that shit. What was the sample? The Eddie Floyd.
Yeah, the war joint. For Hassan Maki.
Right.
Remember that time. Oh yeah.
It's the green record, the green Eddie Floyd record
with the big bow tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he basically just said, I'd actually, rather listen to this record before I even take it out of the store.
I feel you. I do that too. I don't take shit out the store unless I listen to it first.
yeah.
That right there, it lets you know that I'm not a collector.
That to me sounds like the cheat code.
You said what?
You ever get a record and you listen to it like this is dope, took it home and you didn't feel the same vibe when you played it again?
I do that shit all the time. I'm like, yo, why did there was something about it, because I'm not gonna leave the store with it if I don't like something.
Yeah.
I leave the store with it because I found something, I heard something, and it got to the point where, you might hate me for it, but I started marking them on the back of the. I put a check mark on the joint, on the actual packaging, dog. I'm like, I'm not a collector. I'm not buying this. I'm gonna sell it back, or get my credit score. So whatever. I'm gonna take what I need to off of it.
After you wrote all over it.
Yo, you get it? You buy like 17 records wherever you spend money, and then you get like a free bin of shit, and then the free bins of shit you end up using. You ever notice that shit? Like,
the shitty stuff. Absolutely. Dollar records. Dollar bin all day. Absolutely.
What's the worst record you think that's out there to ever sample from?
That Charlie McClain record, probably.
Oh, snap.
I think Christmas records. I can't fuck with no Christmas records.
Oh, that reminds me of the Black Thought.
I did a Christmas track
I fucked with some Christmas shit. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did one like 2 months ago.
Them living strings. I thought they were dope back in the days, but I couldn't fuck with them after a while.
Oh, those 101 strings.
Yeah, 101 strings.
I got 2 beats off of those joints.
I don't really fuck with library records that much, man. It's some shit on some, but I don't really fuck for what library records. They don't really do it for me.
I got a quick question for y'all. It's actually a 2-parter, or maybe a 3-parter, but I'll make it quick. Have any of y'all ever heard of Booney Mayfield?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Have any of y'all met Booney Mayfield?
Absolutely. Me and him, we did Red Bull together.
That's
back when I used to battle. Yeah.
And what is he doing now? That's the 3-parter, in full.
Isn't he doing because he plays a lot of shit. So isn't he doing sound design, or is he acting or something?
Really?
I think he's acting. I think he's doing acting and shit too. But I don't know exactly what he's doing right now. Last time I seen some shit, I think he was acting, and I think he was directing videos, and I think he was doing like sound design or some shit. Yeah. I don't know, but I haven't heard from him in a minute.
That's dope, yo. Because
Booney was a beast, man. Yo, Booney was a beast. He was a beast, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. Like,
he was one of the people that kind of made it seem like it was tangible, because, if you look at the old YouTube videos, you seen he barely had no gear in the bedroom at all. And he was just, you know what I'm saying? And he was going in, and it was just like, yo, how did he make that sound out of absolutely nothing? And
he was crazy. He was crazy. Yeah. You know who else was crazy in that era that I used to battle was Frank Dukes.
Oh, my God.
A lot of people don't know, like, Frank Dukes is probably the biggest producer in the world right now.
Yeah,
but he's so behind the scenes that cats don't know, because his name's they just don't know, man. He has his hand in like fucking 10 out of 10 shit on the top 10, on the charts, man. It's like,
bro, he got the best. Well, I don't even know, because I've only really liked one Taylor Swift record, and he produced it. He got a Taylor Swift record that's fire.
It's fire. Dude, that's my claim to fame, is I beat him in a beat battle, bro. Like,
Yeah.
And now look where I'm at and look where he's at. Like, what the fuck?
Frank Dukes is like the young David Axelrod, man.
Yo, he's amazing, man. Frank Dukes he's incredible, bro. He's a good dude, man. Real good dude.
That's why, like, whenever it comes to the whole battling thing, I always feel like every dog definitely has his day. It's like, it's much like boxing in the sense that, I mean, it just depends on who showed up. I mean, you could battle that same person the next day and lose, especially if you have, you know what I mean? Like, if you have two talented producers.
You trying to say I had my day, man?
No.
Trying to say, man.
No, I'm saying, like,
he said every dog has his day.
He said you won the battle and lost the war.
He said the rematch might have been different.
Yeah, man.
You never know.
He said Apollo won the battle and lost the war.
Absolutely. And that's the truth. That's the truth, man. I'm down here in my basement while he's in a state of the art studio. Like, dude is probably making multi-millions and all kinds of crazy shit going on with him right now, man. And I'm sitting in my basement. So yeah.
Yep. And all of his stuff is sample free.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yes. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? So who really won? You know what I mean?
So we're gonna go with this. You got
No, I'm saying, because I don't know, because me personally, like, I'm always gonna sample. Like, I can make raw records with nothing in it, but like, I mean, even if I do that, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll sample, then find a way to wherever I did with the sample, then I'll extract that, and then implement, you know, actual instrumentation. It's just a source of inspiration. I mean, that was the whole reason why I started.
No, but we don't sample though.
Oh yeah, that's right. When I listen to records and get creativity from them.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
What is a sample, first of all?
I told you.
So for anybody that's like trying to sell tracks to artists, have any of y'all found success in like different pockets of the world? Because I'm starting to think about that, you know, how at least, you know, type of hip hop that I produce is much more respected overseas, and
absolutely
I haven't really made contacts in those.
That's where I sell most of my beats, overseas.
Okay, so how did, like, I mean, I guess I'm
over there a lot, so
yeah.
I make a lot of personal contacts over there, but you know, and a lot of times, you know, I might hook up with somebody, you know, on an off day and we might go to the studio or something like that. But I mean, obviously I don't know what they're saying, but I have to fill it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't just give beats to anybody, man, or sell beats to anybody. So
right.
Even though I can't really understand the language, you can tell when somebody is decent, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the delivery, and you can tell. But yeah, I mean, that's the truth, man. For some reason overseas, man, they feel it a lot more than we do here.
And what countries are you having that success with, like selling a lot of beats?
More
European countries, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Germany, Italy, France. You know what I'm saying? Your European Union, basically UK.
Okay.
Basically everything European Union. Russia, they don't buy shit. Russia don't even buy your album, so they pirate everything. So you know, they're amazing. Yo, my favorite shows are in Russia. Favorite shows, hands down, are in Russia. But when it comes to buying records, man, they don't buy records, man. They don't.
All right. So let's say you go to Germany for like a tour run, and you're gonna sell some beats as well. Like, is it a situation where you link up with like a label rep there, or is it just indie artists? Or
usually indie, all indie.
Okay.
Yeah, man. It's indie local, or you know, somebody who has some type of situation going on, but most of the time it's indie.
And do they reach you through like management or like the promoter or something? Or?
No, I don't do manager, man. I don't do that. Okay. They reach me straight up, just to me, man. I've always been, I don't know, I'm easy to get a hold of, man. I always took offense when people like handed me off to their manager, so I don't do it. You know, if Cats was like, I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'm like, yo, we need to get up, man. Let's work, man. You know, you want to get in the studio or whatever. And they're like, yeah, yo, that sounds dope. Yo, hit my manager, man. You know, call my manager. I'm like, yo, we talking right now, man. What the fuck I gotta call your manager for, man? I hate that shit. That shit's like, unless you're like Drake or somebody that I get it. Nah, man. If I don't need a manager, you don't need no manager, man. I'm telling you, like.
I think if you work with an artist, you should be able to develop a relationship with them at the same time.
Exactly. And that's the truth, man. I tell people all the time, my beats are like my kids. The artist is the babysitter. I got to interview the babysitter first before I let them take care of my kids.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. I got to interview you first before you can take care of my kids. I'm not just going to drop my kids off with you and I don't know you or I've never met you or we've never developed a rapport. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing with my beats, man. I'm not just going to let you on my shit, man, and we didn't develop a rapport. I'm not going through a manager, man. No, man. So I don't do that to people.
Right. Yeah, man. Salute to you, brother. That's very admirable.
Man, it's just take care of your own shit, man. We ain't that busy. We ain't that busy that we can't make time to make some money or, you know, develop some relationships. That's what it's all about, man. It's not all about the know-how. It's about the know-who.
Yeah.
So you're your own manager.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I have consultants. I have people that I go to for certain things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know, I have that in every aspect, whether it's, you know, money, whether it's touring, whatever it is. I have people that I go to or people that I utilize, but I don't have a manager, man. And I don't think I ever will.
That's dope.
An attorney and an accountant.
I'm saying, as a manager, if your Rolodex ain't bigger than mine, man, there ain't no reason for me to have you. You know what I'm saying? As a manager, you can't come to me for numbers and contacts. You should already have them.
That is the most backwards shit.
That's real shit, though.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, can I count on you to inquire some business as far as judging a battle?
You want me to judge a battle?
Yeah.
Just ask me to judge a battle.
I don't know if this was the proper time to do it or anything like that. I figured I was gonna wait to the end of this, you know.
No, I'm down to judge a battle. I got time. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing shit.
Right. Well, I mean, not right now, but
no, I'm saying absolutely no. I mean, you know, I'm home, man.
Maybe when the world opens back up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need y'all for some judging in the future too. We'll talk though on a scale with it. You know what I mean? All that. We'll talk
down for that, man.
You know what I mean? Because it's really for the whole sample challenges we do every week is to make people better. And this is how this whole relationship, all these people and all of us got together. You know what I mean? Because right now, you know, the times is fucked up. So all we got is us. All we got is us. That fucking, you know what I mean? And the culture. I don't see racism in this culture. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's all we got. That's what. If there was no hip hop, imagine what would it be right now. Just imagine what it would be and shit. It's the culture brings everybody together, man.
Absolutely.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop recording this so it's not. But we can still talk. You know what I mean? So it doesn't like be too long because it's already like 2.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You got anything else you want to say to the people before I stop recording?
Yo. Don't be afraid to tell people that you love their music, man. Straight up.
I know that what's the name? Vinny's phone died early. He said his tablet died. I think Stu's just did too, so that's why they're not. I mean, he had to do something. I don't know, but another edition. Let's go. We can stay here, but I'm just gonna stop recording. All right.
Salute everybody. We out.
Peace.